Woo! Woo!
Hello. Another Thursday.
It is a Thursday. I just felt like whooping. I don't know why. I think, woo.
First Thursday on the new year.
Yeah, I know why, because N7 Spectres went woo, and I didn't even notice. Look at that. It was there in the chat.
Woo. Yeah,
and a woo back to you.
Yeah, I hope you had a good New Year's, Rokk.
Was there a Christmas recently? I forget.
Yeah, there was.
Kind of came and it went, didn't it, man? It's like
and it's crazy. Like it's almost a year left, and people are already having Christmas decorations up. I don't get it.
Somebody sent me a Merry Christmas for 2023 today, which I thought was well, we got a first dibs, early bird, and all that. Why not?
Yeah, let's bring in our guests before they
get
bored.
I'm boring you already. I've only just said a few things.
No. It's just I
so
can
much
see
for
them
my Christmas
sitting there
joke.
eagerly waiting to get on. So let's get them on before they doze off. There we go.
Oh, look at that!
Wrong button.
What happened? What was wrong with that?
There we go.
It's okay. Choco's only. It was him playing music, and now he's got drinking beer. He may as well swear and get it out on the table, and we'll get the full channel closed down.
Oh my gosh!
You can tell these people that stream on Twitch, can't you?
It's holy water. It's only holy water.
They haven't got a care in the world.
It's a different world out there. The first day of first show of a new year. Hope you've all had a great time. And did anyone here get anything good for Christmas this year?
I got the shit.
He did.
I guess not. That's a negative.
I like the silence. Actually, these
good.
I'm wearing right now.
None of you fell for it then.
My wife bought me some singing lessons.
But wasn't that last year?
No, that's this year. Well, the last year as Christmas was last year. But,
yeah, but I asked for Christmas this year. Christmas for this year hasn't been yet. I got you good.
I'll get me coat. That's only somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons would find that funny. Let's be honest. That was a real nerdy joke.
To me, an SPG and Ninja then.
Yeah, everybody but me.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing the Christmas present I got. The Astro A4.
Nice. Oh, nice.
10th generation.
Very nice.
Yeah, look at that. So you're getting me and Bjorn in stereo.
Yep.
I'm actually drinking my Christmas gift as well. Holy water.
Holy water.
Celebrate of the passing former pope. I know. It's yeah. That's fair enough.
It came in 6.
So obviously we have our lovely guests here today, apart from me and Rokk. HOULTS is unfortunately not here. He is sick with COVID.
Yeah.
So I hope he's back on his feet soon, but COVID can be a real drag too.
Well, he had a flu virus thing, if you remember. He had that before Christmas. He wasn't too well. And then he's been in bed since over New Year's. Bless him. So
It's been a while, yeah.
Hopefully he's back on his feet soon. But in the meantime, we have a lovely panel, and not just my ugly face and Rokk. We have, of course,
none taken.
Spectres.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. We have SPG with a massive green screen behind him. We have Ninja Guy X.
Hey guys!
Woohoo! I should be whooping.
Yeah, whoop whoop. And we have Shokotoko.
Hey guys! Yo. Happy New Year! Yo!
Choco.
So I mean, we've got several countries representing here now. We have France, we have Canada, we have the UK, the US, and Sweden.
Yeah.
So, and Colombia. I'm actually Colombia.
Yeah, technically Colombia.
Yeah.
It's a global podcast, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So how are you guys? How's everyone been?
Good.
I just came back from holidays in Colombia, back to Paris, full winter, so it's quite depressing.
Oh.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, I
Charge
live
you
in
to
North
drink.
Dakota, so
30 degrees every day, barbecue, swimming pool, and now it's
Wow.
drinking holy water
Yeah.
in the cold.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is it
life
Is it
changes quickly.
snowing where you guys? Any of you guys? William, you had some snow, didn't you?
oh
You
yes,
you
we
still
always
got
have
it.
snow. Yeah, we
Yeah.
still got it. Didn't go anywhere.
Have you?
Yeah.
We didn't. We've gone up to autumn, spring temperatures in the UK. It's ridiculous. Is it the same in France, Choco?
France, and they're panicking
Yeah.
in the Alps because the ski resorts don't have any snow,
Yeah.
and yeah, they live out of these things. They're waiting for winter, so it's a bit concerning. The whole situation
Yeah.
with the weather.
Yeah, we have -6 in Stockholm right now, so and snow. So
Well,
Do you?
we had
Yep.
negative 35 for a whole week.
Yeah,
And I-
the middle
and I
of the
was-
center there, it's
And I
crazy.
was talking to an old timer, and I said, "Hey, can you believe that?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's only the second day of winter." I said, "What? You mean the second day?" Yeah.
Wow.
We got a long time. We're gonna be cold
Yeah,
for a little
I don't
while.
know why, right? That Central America just got that super cold weather compared to the east side this nowadays. I don't know what's happening, but that's crazy.
yeah, and I think like Sweden and I think also I'm assuming also like Finland and Norway, we like I think the prediction is that we're gonna have massive snow and minus several like up to I think up to -30 in some areas. So like for the next like month.
Bikini weather.
What happened is there was a over in Siberia where it's always frigid. Some kind of jet stream or something pushed all that cold all the way to the lower 48 states. So all the way to Texas, they got a big chill. And a lot of those states aren't prepared for that kind of stuff. So.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we here in Sweden, like we are prepared for snow. Like Stockholm is prepared compared to most of the rest of the world, but compared to the northern part of Sweden, we are like even they go like seriously, guys. Because I mean, whenever there's always like when the first snow hits, nothing works in Stockholm for like 3 days every year, and it's like we know it's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen in like late November, then it's all gonna go away and come back late December. It happens every year, but still, everyone is always surprised when it happens.
Wow.
And like the people up in northern Sweden, they're always like, "Oh, come on, guys! Like, that's not winter. You have spring right now. When we're like, oh, it's cold. We're like -2, spring weather. Seriously,
No, it's
I mean,
cold
some of
where
these
you
places-
have permafrost.
yeah. I mean, some of these places in north, like Yuka said with the ice hotel, they average around -15. I think the whole winter. Can go down to -35, so
Wow.
and that's Celsius. So
That's it. Well, there's your weather news, guys. I know that's what you tuned in for. Thank you for that.
but guys, before we jump into the news, and there's some fair big news. Rokk, do you want to mention your giveaways because you have 3 going on right now, right?
Well, two big ones, and then the dailies. So yeah, very very quickly because we're not here to promote me on my own channel. Why would I want to do that?
There might be someone in chat who hasn't entered those. So
This is true, yeah. So I'm looking up at the screen up there. By the way, it's not. I haven't got like an astigmatism or anything. There's a screen up here. Yeah. So why are you looking at me? Yeah.
Need that video feature.
It's
We
weird.
correct you.
A really good friend of mine has one, and I'm talking to him, and it's just like he's looking over here somewhere, and it's the weirdest thing. And he's not; he's looking at me. So yeah, we have Forspoken. That's this month. So there's a big game every month. Forspoken PC this month, plus 30 days of GeForce Now 4090 if it's available, or 4080 if it's available. Is it 4080 or 4090?
48.
80.
yeah.
That's right. See, William's got the 4090. He's got the extra inch. It makes a difference.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
At least it made a difference when you build your PC because I'm guessing it's huge.
You get it slammed in that door, mate. I tell you that. The fan goes and you've had it. That's coming out. That's the 24th of January. That one. That's when it goes live. So that's the draw. And then next month we've got Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
That's warts on the back of a hog. So that one's February the 23rd. You can check all this stuff out if you go to rockshow.com and click up on giveaways, I think it's called, and it's got all the info in there. That's all you need from me. There's other stuff, but I don't want to bore everybody. They've just had it from the weather. We've already lost 12 people. We only had 4 in the first place.
Right, but SPC, let's start with you. What have you been up to in the since Christmas? What have you been playing?
I grinded out about 60 hours of Days Gone and enjoyed every minute of it. I'm running around in the end game now, trying to clear all the little stuff they had like all the zombie hordes or freaker hordes and markers on the map and stuff. But that's all that's left. So, man, I wish we got a sequel. I really do. I wish they gave us more of those. Because to me, the story was better than The Last of Us. I know that's blasphemous to say.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Wow. It's the emotion, if you can get in the mindset of the character and enjoy his journey and put yourself in his shoes, like all the stuff he goes through is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Deacon's a hell of a character, isn't he? And who is it we discovered does the voice for it? Somebody
Sam Witwer. He's the same guy who does Darth Maul in
really?
a bunch of the animated shows.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tweeted him out. I didn't realize they were already making a show based on it, and they recast him. But I tweeted him out, and I was like, "Hey, I'm playing your game. It's a masterpiece. How about a live action?" And he liked it, but apparently he's not going to be in it.
But his bank balance didn't like it as much.
No, exactly. I'm sure I'm sure they'll at least give him a cameo. But
I hope so, because he's a hell of an actor too. He was also Starkiller from the Jedi game, so a long time ago.
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, yes.
Yep.
Good one.
Series. Good series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's about all I've been playing. Played a little Battlefield today with Ray. That game's amazing.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yep.
Ninja, what about you? What's been your game of 2023 so far?
Yeah, so during my vacation, I've been working through Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate using boosteroids. So it's been...
You made Choco happy there.
yeah.
We were actually
that
behind
Ninja
the
guy.
scenes when the wrong link. We were actually talking Final Fantasy, and we were like, weren't we
Oh,
supposed to be
no.
starting soon? We just had a whole conversation.
yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry,
My
Speedy, what
bad.
did you just mention about...
Oh, I was just wondering what you thought of the game. I haven't played it yet. I played the original and loved it, but
I'm pretty hooked. It's pretty amazing. I'm not used to play lately I haven't been playing a lot of longer games like that, and that one's keeping me hooked. It's very polished. The cutscenes, there's a very big budget on this game compared to other games story wise. If you don't count the main PlayStation titles like God of War and Original and all that, it kind of matched this type of storytelling. So it's really amazing.
Nice. And 7.
need to jump in there.
All right,
What's been-
I've been playing Marvel's Midnight Suns, and this
Me too.
Saturday I will be finishing it up officially. And every week I've been playing Ark Survival. So those two games I've been sort of swapping back and forth.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about the ending of Midnight Sun. So I'm just like 5 hours in, so I've got a long way to go.
Clocked in about an hour, 105 hours already.
Wow. Wow, man.
That's impressive.
So what
Yeah.
I'm doing right now
That's a
is
lot.
I'm doing a dark playthrough, and then I'm also doing off stream a light playthrough, and then doing compilations as I go, so people can see the differences of the options.
Ooh,
It's actually very
interesting.
extensive.
That's a lot of commitment.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
yeah. I've got to a point in the game where nothing's happening, and I'm just kind of wandering around, thinking, "Well, come on in, somebody invite me to do something. What's next? I need to trigger something. I haven't kind of found out what it is I need to do." So.
Okay.
You'll get there. Shoko, what's been... have you played anything since you got back?
Yeah, no, I'm always trying to make time for gaming. Just before my holidays, I managed to finish God of War Ragnarok, so that was good.
Ooh.
Loved it. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So God of War, finished it, loved it, every second of it, and now I'm fully invested in FF7 Crisis Core Reunion.
Oh, is that that's the new one? The new
That's the new one.
the
Well,
rebuild.
not the new one. It's another remaster.
Old, yeah.
remake, But still,
Yeah.
it's from the PSP, and it's
Nice.
It's an amazing game. And
Have
if
they
you play
added
FF7,
new content, Jock, or is it just a kind of a refresh look and feel? Or
I'm only 10 hours into the game, so I haven't reached the point in which, if they do a different spin on the story or.
yeah,
But
They haven't brought anything new, and that kind of lowered the score of the game because of that, right?
yeah,
But it's still an amazing game. Like when the PSP game was so good back in the day.
yeah, it's a classic. But I was hoping to see something more with the new remake that has a whole different plot and a whole different twist on things. So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm loving it.
yeah.
So with the remake, did they have to revamp the combat system, or did they keep the original?
No, they revamped everything.
Oh, really? Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
That's
They
a lot
have-
of work. Impressive.
I highly recommend best 200 hours invested of your life.
Well, you can pick it up.
200.
You can
No, I'm
pick
kidding.
up.
I'm kidding. You could go for 200 if you want to.
Say, you can pick up Final Fantasy remake for $44.79 on CD keys
Oh, sweet.
for the EU and UK.
Yeah, but you play on PlayStation, don't you, Jock?
Yeah, yeah. Today there's a lot of promos on PS5. I don't know if any of
Are
you
there?
guys. I was just telling Ninja and N7. I got The Last of Us Part 2 for €9.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
only-
a deal.
Yeah,
Because that's still only available on PlayStation anyway, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So I wonder if that's because it's about to make its debut elsewhere.
Well,
I
I
think
got
it
my
might
copy.
be-
Huh? I don't care.
Yeah, I bought it as well. I think I bought it. Yeah, that's good.
I feel like I have to ask since last time you were on this show, Shoko, you hadn't tried cloud gaming, right? Have you tried
I'll
it
be
since?
honest, I couldn't. I started, but I changed jobs, and with the
you have to time
baby
it.
plus the new job, honestly, I didn't
Do you
want
know
to put any.
that's as bad as the hamster ate my homework, miss.
No,
I mean,
I swear to God.
That was the weakest excuse I've heard all week. I tell you what, a D minus.
honest one.
Get to the back of the class.
It was an honest excuse. Huh? I'm being completely honest. I didn't have a lot of time, and I really wanted to finish.
Or
Ragnarok.
inclination.
I swear to God, I wanted to finish God of War Ragnarok before traveling to Colombia, so I could be like my conscience would be. I could sleep at night.
That's fair. And we would never want to deny you decent sleep, mate.
especially with a
Yeah,
baby, especially with a small
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, you
Everything
don't get
counts.
decent sleep
it's-
anyway. With so
it's
definitely.
tough. It's tough firing cloud gaming up. It takes a lot of energy. So that's it's all fair.
Internet in Colombia is not that good as in France. So,
Actually, that would have been interesting to see if it worked in Colombia.
well, I'm going this
yeah.
year, so we can do a demo. We can do.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
what
I'm
you-
looking forward to
I
hearing your
promise.
report on how
I
cloud
have
gaming
that in
works
my
for you.
radar. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. Do it from a jungle, though. Don't do it from the town. Get into.
Yeah.
I want to see sloths and monkeys and stuff, and
Yeah.
I want the
Myself
whole
dressed as
thing.
Tarzan, and we.
Yeah, I think isn't Xbox Cloud Gaming available in
I'll call my wife Jane, and we'll
You could
just
get
start
you could get
swimming.
Baz in as the chimp cheetah, couldn't you?
Yeah, cheetah. I'll have my pet crocodile by my side.
So I was thinking we were going to jump into looking forward on what's coming later this year. But before we do, I think there are a couple of news stories we can go over. So without further ado, let's do that. Let's switch the screens.
Bon Année. Is that correct? Is that how you say Happy New Year? Bon Année.
Damn it, we haven't fixed the.
Oh no! Go back and I'll sort it out.
Yeah, I'll go back. Don't worry about.
I didn't know Holtz was here. That was
Did you see him? Did you see him there?
Holtz has been here now. Good.
He snuck in. He snuck
Yeah.
all the way in. Right.
Snuck in.
Yeah.
This is that's the thing about this system. We need to assign these speaker slots to each of you, and for each screen. We could use the dynamic screens, but then
Yeah.
the work that Rokk has put in to make these lovely static like pro screens would have been to waste. So let's not do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. In the meantime, you mentioned that obviously who here has seen the GeForce presentation from CES?
I saw like half of it.
Well, that counts.
I saw the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the
You
whole
might have missed one
presentation.
part of the end there if you didn't watch the whole thing. But for the most part, it was all the good stuff was in the beginning.
Gotta say,
obviously
technology
I don't
announced-
know.
really
I don't know
fun.
that forklift accident thing at the end was pretty interesting. You know, just
That's
saying.
true. That's true.
Yeah, it was exciting.
I missed that. What was the
technology is
forklift
really
thing? What
Yeah,
happened?
now we need to.
Yeah.
The
that.
Omniverse stuff. You got to check it
Yeah.
out. It was kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Technology nowadays is really fun to watch. See how things have progressed and all that. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
One of the things I noticed was like they announced a new feature coming to NVIDIA Broadcast, and I was like,
Oh, the eyeball
realizing,
thing, yeah.
yeah, I was like, because it was like realign your eyeballs to look into the camera, which we usually
Yeah, I
don't do when we
love
do
that.
video calls. And I mean that's something that they showed off. I think it was 3 years ago as like a science tech thing. Like, look at what we've accomplished with AI. It's not a product, but we've made this. It's cool. Research, and now it's finally made it into product, which is really cool to see.
Very nice.
So yeah, so if you have an NVIDIA broadcast, you will be able to now keep eye contact with people when you speak to them online.
And it's all cloud based. It's not on your actual computer or physical.
No,
so
it's running.
all-
It's running on your computer, and you need.
Oh, it is? Oh, that
one
RTX
is?
Okay.
30
Running off the
series
card.
or better
Okay.
to do
I
it.
see.
I think.
But it's
or
really
maybe
good if
do it with
you're,
20 series.
you know, if it's like us and we've got show notes up and you're looking at screens and stuff, if you can kind of keep your head roughly in one place looking at the camera, but, you know, your eyes can be looking around at these various things.
as
It'll
I was just going to say, as a little bit of a better example, think of a president reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Like, his eyes aren't
looking
going to
through the thing.
Yeah. It's we're not going to know if they're reading anymore. I mean, eventually.
Ah,
Yeah,
Eventually.
Yeah, it's really cool tech.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so
Almost
so
there,
they
chaps,
announced.
almost there.
I know it's. So obviously they announced a couple of things at CS, with things like the new Ultimate tier instead of the 3080 tier. I think that was, like, or honestly, like, they didn't. That's what they announced. To be honest, they there were some other things mentioned, but the big announcement was the 3080 tier will be upgraded to what the insult call the Ultimate tier, and with that including upgrading the rigs for at least to at least as we assume when it's actually needed to a 4080 instead of a 3080. So
Yeah, to the 4080 pods. They also discussed the 4070 hardware, 4070 Ti
Yep,
that was going to
they
be
did.
released.
oh right.
and and announced that there will be coming 40. Several partners will be releasing 40X series laptops as well.
Yeah.
And one of those, like some of those, that was announced like a few hours later by Asus, for example. And I mean, Asus announced they basically took the Surface and like made it a little bit thicker and put in I think it was a 4070 in essentially a Surface Microsoft Surface tablet. It's insane.
Impressive.
Yeah, well, what's really
The price is
interesting
probably equally insane, but
is the performance, is the type of performance they could possibly get from them. But you do have to remember, it's not exactly a 4090 or a 4080 or a 4070 that's going into these laptops. They're cut back, trimmed down,
Yeah, it's a mobile version, trimmed
and
down.
the power is way lower. But it should still be like super significant for mobile people. I mean, it really
oh yeah,
should.
Yeah.
definitely. So some really cool stuff coming.
That's a good. That's a good point, William. Because I bought a laptop recently, had a 3050 Ti card, and I thought, oh yeah, brilliant, that'll do. That'll be, you know, it had the same CPU as I've got in this 3080 rig. I thought 3050, it's a great card. It's got a decent amount of RAM. Rubbish at editing video. That's largely why I bought it. It was just stuttering like anything, you know, because it's they give it the same name, but it ain't the same stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
those laptops are always in a tug of war with itself over heat. The CPU warms up and then it chills out to bring down power, to bring down temps, and then the GPU sees some headroom and it ramps up, and it's constantly like in a tug of war for
I mean, I can
power
hear the fan on my
consumption
laptop
and-
going right now, and
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
doing this makes it perform.
So when you think about it, them fitting a 4090 or whatever, or a 4080 that would be that big into one of those laptops is quite significant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very low profile. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the heat sinks alone are as big as a Big Mac box, or you know a hamburger box. So
Only an
It is.
American would say as big as a Big Mac box.
At the same time, though,
I've had one in my hand.
like it works as record can be at least. I know how big
It's a
that
bag
was.
of nuggets.
Rather, I know how big it is here. I'm assuming it's bigger over
A
there.
Royale with cheese.
Yeah,
Extra crispy. Yeah.
yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah, but so obviously new servers, stronger, better. One of the things that they will enable is, for example, giving support for NVIDIA Reflex, which should improve the latency quite significantly for especially for competitive games.
Yeah,
also
so-
increase FPS as well, too.
Yeah. They talked a little bit about the DLSS 3, how it increased latency, but with Reflex, then it can lower it down back to a normal standard.
But when
Exactly.
it says
So-
that it's adding latency,
Yeah.
it's not ruining your game by far. But it does add a little latency, and when you turn on the reflex, it can trim it back off. But that stuff's like magic. DLS 3.0, the way it generates a frame and the AI like figures out where to exactly put it to make it match. That's incredible to me. Just incredible, because you're taking like a game that would normally run, let's say, maxed out at 68 frames. You turn on DLS 3.0 on, and now you're at, like 140. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But like right now, there's like no glitches and stuff, but imagine when games are built natively on that, right? That's just going to be insane, like what they'll be able to do with that.
Just look at DLS 1.0, DLS 2. It's a progression. I mean, FSR had a 1, and then 2 was very much better implemented. I don't know. This tech is amazing. I'm loving watching where it's going. But I would love to get my hands on one of those 4080 pods, even though I have a 4090 local, and do some testing. I would love to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out, of course. And I mean, it does require you to. It also comes with support for 240 FPS.
Yes, now that's something I was gonna mention. For them to be entering the market with a brand new physical product and be trying to sell it, and then turn around and give all their existing customers who were onto GeForce now without any extra money to be able to experience that, I think is amazing. But they're geniuses. They're doing one of two things. They're either going to push you to try it and love it and say, oh, I got to get myself a PC with this card in it. Or you're going to go, hey, this is awesome in the cloud, but I would really like to experience the 200 hertz or the 120. So it's going to push people to either A, buy a monitor, or B, buy a rig. So they're kind of genius for giving it to you at the same cost as the 3080 tier was, now called the Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what it all comes down to in the end. I mean, even though this is running in the cloud, and I mean, it's offloading the heavy lifting, to be able to experience the like true 4K or the 120 even or 240 FPS, you need a monitor that supports that. And
Correct.
Let's be honest, most people don't have that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's funny because, again, this evening, my daughters were playing Mario Kart on Switch. And, it just blows me away. It's 1080p, and it's just stunningly sharp.
The colors
1080p on
are
a 4K
amazing.
screen, 4K TV, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Nintendo can work some magic all the way back to the Super Nintendo. When you'd see Killer Instinct, or they're just really good at what they do.
Oh, Tetris was amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, those pixels. Yeah.
Yeah.
The anti-aliasing on Tetris was just something else.
The accuracy on the corners was amazing.
Just
Wait
beautiful.
till you put RTX on. Oh my gosh.
I kind of want that now. Or Tetris with RTX. Make it happen in the video.
Got to be done.
Yeah, and so I can see what is wondering if the priority subs will be bumped up to better performance. I don't think so at the currently, but maybe down the line.
And then the question is, what will they do with these 3080 tiers, right? If they don't get bumped to these cards.
I think that it's going to be a gradual process as as further rollout for the 40 series.
What they're doing
I'm
is
starting to think you and that Bjorn, something you mentioned behind the scenes, and you too, Rokk. I think that's what they're doing. I don't think you're going to know what you're playing on.
No.
Technically, I really don't. I mean, when you go to play Portal with RTX on, and you have the option to turn on DLS3, you know what you're on.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not sure you're going to even know.
No.
You know, I mean, you fire up a game that now the perfect solution would be we'd have a 4080 for every title, but a 4080 isn't needed for every title necessarily.
No.
So I don't know how they're going to actually do the
juggling.
juggling.
Half the titles I play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're going to juggle it, is what I'm saying.
Maybe they'll. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It would be good if they gave it to the free tier to let them experience it, but I'm not sure that's the direction they're going to head either. So it doesn't seem like it.
So what I know is that the the priority tier is going to be using 3080s, but virtualized to 3060s, I believe. So I don't know how many 3060s they get out of a 3080, but it's going to be at least 2, I guess. So they're going to probably get repurposed for that. But like William was saying, if you go now, I mean, I've my account has changed to say Ultimate, but I don't know whether I'm actually getting Ultimate or not, because when you look at a game, if you go into, for example, I went to Valhalla earlier and I ran a benchmark test. Now, in the old days, it would say what flavor of card you were, it was benchmarking. Now it just says NVIDIA GTX or something, or GVX. So, you know, you've actually got no way of knowing. And I suspect that the 4080s will be used for games of the future with DLSS 3. I mean, having said that, Portal RTX, which is coming this week to GeForce Now, has DLSS 3.
Yeah.
So, you know, I presume that's going to run on 4080s if that's what you've got. But
now I think it can run on a 3080, but without DLSS 3.0. So it's possible they implement that at first, and then when the pods get
I'm
rolled
assuming
out,
as well. Like,
you know,
if you, for example, are playing on a 1080p screen, then there's no point for them to push the. Then they can probably run it with take one 4080 and then split it to 2 people doing that.
well, you think that high frame rates are hard to achieve, but they're actually not. In 1080p, you can get up to 300 to 400 frames in some games. You're usually CPU like bottlenecked or whatever.
Yeah, so if they then take one blade, split that blade into two sessions, and then they're good to go. And I think that's also why they rename it from, instead of being renamed as 4080, it's going to be Ultimate, because it's then just.
I mean you're going to get,
and then they say, oh yeah, we don't have any free 2080 series blades for the priority tier.
Right.
Let's just give them a 3080 because it doesn't matter. No one will know.
No. Well,
it's possible they wouldn't.
the 240 frames per second is only going to happen on a 1080 anyway. You're not going to get that on any of the higher speeds, any of the higher graphics resolutions. So, but I mean,
what they put in the pipe. Like,
they've said that's what they've said. They've said it's 240 is for 1080. 120 is for 1440 and 4K, 60 is for 4K. Now, some people I've seen saying that you're going to get 120 for 4K, but I've not seen that officially from GeForce Now. And I looked at their specs earlier. It was very much talking of 120 for 1440, which is pretty much what you do now. That's what I always play.
Yeah, that's the setting they let you you choose. Yeah. If they'd let you do 4K 120, that would be brilliant, because the 4080 with DLSS either 2, 3, or 1 could definitely do those frames, fairly easily on everything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. But it's a little bit confusing, and they've I know quite a few people, particularly even ambassadors, have put out videos and tweets and things, and had to retract some of the stuff they've said because
Rokk, it was confusing, and for a lot of people, they show you the 4070 when they release the hardware, and they go, "Hey, look at this card! Look at how great it is! It's 1 times better than the 3090." It's not. They're trying to show you performance with DLS3. DLS3 is voodoo.
Yeah.
It's not raw performance. If you turn it all off and this is the frame you get, that is the raw performance. They're not giving you anything close to that. They're turning on DLSS 3 and then giving you those numbers is what they're doing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also a matter of like, I think for most people, like most of their customers will probably try it out, realize, oh, the Ultimate here is better, but I don't use it enough to warrant the extra cost. I think like the priority tier is an incredible value for anyone who plays
solid.
PC games, period.
But they're genius, because the people who are curious about that 4080 are going to pay. The people who are curious about the high frame rate are going to pay. And they might turn around and actually buy a rig, or they might turn around and go, man, I really need that 120
that's
monitor.
what it's about. I think announcing the Ultimate and doing all this, it doesn't really change anything for them other than making a statement that they're in this for the long haul. And I think that, and I think in this day and age that matters. But I think it doesn't really change the needle for
long haul to them is money. If they're selling cards, they don't care. It's not about the cloud for them, sadly. And I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings, but they're actually pushing PC hardware. They want to push people towards PC. If they enjoy what they have in the cloud is just a bonus for them. I really think they want to steer people to the tech. And
see, that's an interesting point, William, and something just occurred to me, and I don't know, is why I'm asking you, because I think you always have some solid thoughts. One of the biggest complaints made for GeForce Now is that they don't get all the games, that they don't have all the AAAs, that that they maybe get 1 in 5 or whatever. Do you think it's in their interest to not have all the games, on the basis that if they want to sell cards and they want to sell hardware, they'd rather that you just think, oh, what the heck, I love this experience, I can't get all the games, I'm going to go and buy a PC, but make sure I've got the 4090 or the 4080? Or am I just being cynical?
No, that could very well be. It's very hard to tell.
I think it could be, but I don't, like, at the end of the day, I think it's more like, I think the way that NVIDIA sees it is probably more a case of
I think it's a win-win.
We want everyone playing PC games because that's where we make our money. And if you don't, or if you're not in a position where you want to or can buy a rig, then we don't want to lose you as a potential customer. So then instead they let you do it this way.
Well, the reason that's hard to answer for me, Rokk, is because they used to have everything. They used to have absolutely everything because you already bought it. All you'd have to do is log into your associated account, and you were gold. You had anything that was available, as long as it wasn't just strictly mouse and keyboard. I think that was locked at first.
That's a really good point. I mean, that does play towards what I'm saying, that it's actually in their interest not to be too worried about having access to all games on the system.
Maybe that was their model all along, and that's why they didn't blow a stink about losing all their titles. I mean, it's just something to think about. I don't know, food for thought.
Indeed.
Yeah, but then again, they also have this. I mean, NVIDIA, the whole corporation they still have a great relationship with a lot of these companies, and they probably, like, if one of them says like, we're gonna switch to AMD tech if you don't, if you don't remove your games from GFN, because we haven't approved that, they're just gonna say, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and to be fair to GeForce Now, I mean, the companies were very public. Studios, developers were very public about pulling their games. They wouldn't have done that in conspiracy with NVIDIA. There's just no way, because the PR they got from that, from existing NVIDIA, wasn't great. So it's highly unlikely. But it was an interesting 5-minute speculation.
And they got roasted for their 4070 release. Every single content creator that they gave a card to, they're like, hey, here's a free card, review it for us. All their thumbnails are like crying face and like, it's really pretty significant. They got, the 4070 card got crapped on. But speaking, like for value, it's not good. But if you look at current prices, you can't get a 3090 or a 3090 Ti for less than $1,000. You can't do it. So this card being $850, and it beats or competes. That's interesting. Competes with the 3090. You could go to the 40 series card for cheaper than getting the current or the best of the last gen.
See, I'm seeing a lot of people, because one of the other features, I don't know if we were going to get there in a second, was the fact that they now support widescreen monitors. So, to take two 30-inch monitors, bolt them together as a widescreen monitor. It's essentially that.
Yeah,
so, and I'm seeing a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I've got to get a bigger, I've got to get a bit." But I'm still thinking to myself, I'm still really happy with 1440 120. I don't, I there's not any great compelling reason for me. I mean, I very fortunately have the Ultimate anyway, but it's
well,
not.
most people rock do 1440p, but they use DLSS, which then upscales it to 4K, and that's how most people play. So they can still get that high frame rate, and their eye is tricked into thinking it's 4K because there's such a slight difference that most people can't tell.
Especially
Anyway.
on a screen of that size.
I think that's where you were going with that you can't really tell. I mean, it's 1080p is solid, 1440p is solid, but from 1440p to 4K, there is a slight difference, and then
It's hardly any, is it? Particularly if you're sat, as I do. I mean, right now I'm 2 feet, a foot and a half from a monitor. I would notice the difference. But when I'm sat 6, 7, 8 feet away from my TV, which is my main choice for gaming, 14. I mean, as I said, the Switch at 1080 with any of its kind of trickery.
It's fine.
now,
perfect.
maybe that will change when they get actual super good 4K and 8K assets into the game. Maybe that will change a little bit, but until then,
Yeah, that's true. And of course, the Switch, I mean, they've perfected the art of, the kind of 3 colored characters, like in Zelda, where it just looks great because it's fast moving, it's colorful, and you don't notice that actually there's no great 4K texture. And you don't miss it either because that's the animation, that's the style of the design. Aesthetically, it kind of works, isn't it?
yeah. And if somebody wants to see what a big difference is with frames per second, even at 1080p, check out like Ori and the Wisps or whatever. The higher the frame rate, the more of the original animation that the art director wanted you to see. Like it's really neat. It's really neat.
Yeah.
That's a great looking game as well.
Yeah, Rock, as you were saying, people were talking about, getting the wide monitors. I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, I'm still on the 1080 monitor.
Yeah, same. I'm using the
because I have my
1080p
eyes on
speeds
the
I got from work.
4K upgrade, because I've been doing this for like 10 years of just 1080,
Yeah,
So
but to be honest though, Spectre, I mean, I've got a 4K monitor that right now I've got our system running on, and then on the left-hand side of me, I've got a 1440 monitor, and that's the one I do all my gaming on, not the 4K, and they're sat next to each other because I'm getting 165 hertz 1440 on my gaming monitor, which is 120 hertz through GeForce Now, and it just looks great and it runs really smooth. I've no need for the 4K. I've actually given a 4K to my daughter. I had 2 4Ks running. I gave her one and bought myself a 1440, and that's the only one I use. I just don't think there's a great. I mean, people that are buying 8K monitors and 8K TVs, what the hell's that all about? Because you ain't seeing that difference.
No,
they're
and
just not bad 4K. 8K, I'm just like, no, I don't.
And I feel bad for the people that bought 8K because by the time 8K does come out, the TV they got ain't going to be standard. It's just
exactly.
not. Look at HD and then UHD.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean there was a big run, wasn't there, on 3D? And TVs were coming out with 3D specs, and I mean, what happened there? People were investing in that stuff. You just got to be so careful not to get sucked into the latest thing that you don't actually
the
need.
marketing
This right here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What kind of TVs were those? Plasma, right? You can't even throw those away. You got to dispose of them special.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember
funny.
the plasma days.
Oh yeah. I remember the CRT days.
Having to have like 8 people lift up and help.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to the
Oh my gosh, I had
board.
one of those. It was
We
insane.
had
They were.
I
If
think
you
we had
bought
a
a-
40-inch CRT. That was
Yeah,
heavy.
my dad had a 55-inch wood one, and it
Oh
took
my
like
gosh.
it was like a barn raising.
55-inch wood.
It was like a barn raising.
and there goes the monetization for this one.
Took 10 people to help get that thing in the house, man.
That was
Wow.
insane. Yeah.
So heavy.
I remember these days.
And they were perfect for winter, huh? Because they would heat up everything.
Yeah. It would be great this
Well, I
day.
mean,
and
I'm a
age.
So
personal heater
true.
right down there, my computer, so I'm nice and warm in the office.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
format wars. That's basically what I'm getting at, Vet, is the formats. They had 480p, 480i, 1080i, 1080p, 720p. And if you happen to buy a 1080i TV, well, you're shit out of luck, buddy. because that's not the standard that they went with.
Yeah.
They went with
Yeah.
1080p and
Yeah.
720.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just interesting.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of TVs during that period, so I know.
Blu-rays aren't 4K though, are they?
They
can be.
have
They're-
4K Blu-rays, but they're
Do
not
they?
Blu-rays.
Not standard. The standard Blu-ray format's
No.
not 4K, is it? Was
No,
it
it's
1080p?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1080.
I mean, with a few extra pixels thrown in for good measure.
And I believe DVD was 480p,
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
What?
progressively scanned.
Wow. Remember VHS at 240 or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Beta, right?
I've
Yeah,
got
Max.
my whole wedding is on a
Warner.
240 resolution video. There's nothing to be seen apart from my
Now with
perm.
DLS3 Rock, you'll be able to upscale that to 4K.
Wow, it's funny you say that, Ninja, because I watched a video last night. Some guy who was very entertaining, actually. What was he called? VR for real or something. Anyway, he was testing out some software that you could that purported, it was fairly expensive. It was $200, but it purported to take a VHS quality video and upscale it to 4K. So he thought, okay, I'll give that a go. And to be fair, he went through all the different formats, but quite honestly, it was just slightly sharper. I mean, this is the problem. People are getting suckered into thinking that all this DLSS and AI and upscaling is going to... We're years away from being able to go, wow, look at that. I thought that was 4K.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you can denoise, de-interlace, redo it, and if you're dealing with a turd, you're going to still end up with a polished turd at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
do you
always,
think?
I always remember when I first got my Shield Pro, and one of the reasons I got it was because it had this upscaling to 4K. I thought that's going to be amazing, and I ran it, and it just. I remember tweeting at the time. It's just no. All they've done is applied an unsharp mask. It just looks slightly sharper. It doesn't look like 4K. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Laserdisc. Ooh.
Shall we go over some games coming as well? Because there are
Yeah,
some
sure.
games coming.
Ooh, my favorite part. Yeah.
Yeah. We can skip the list of the games coming in January because we're going to get them throughout the month. But this week we get Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game complete edition coming, which is released on Steam. So I think it's already available through Ubisoft Connect, but now it's coming through Steam.
Correct. Or if you bought it via Ubisoft, or if you have Ubisoft Plus, then you've been able to play it on there. But for now, you can buy it independently via Steam or Epic and play it on GeForce Now.
Ubisoft is bringing games back to Steam now. So
Yes,
That's
Joe,
what
I
we're
did. I did see that that model. Go look at the CUDA core count and the power delivery. You might get a chuckle.
I usually have a chuckle at CUDA core.
Yeah, always. Don't show me yours.
No, it's a cute CUDA core you got there, my friend.
Oh, a little bit robotic
game
there.
in a futuristic carrier.
Bjorn, you went all Dalek-y then, my friend. We didn't
Yep.
pick that up.
Yeah, so Carrier Command, a
Oh, yeah.
real-time strategy game, where you basically play a carrier.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're the aircraft carrier?
Ah.
No, you play as an admiral that
Oh.
takes control of a carrier.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some surfing waves right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's like the
Gotta
Atlantic
confuse
waves.
the skull and bones.
Bjorn, could you increase your screen a little bit? Maybe just hit the plus a few times so that folk at home on their mobiles can see a bit more detail.
There we go.
Go
And
on.
also cool is that it is VR, as you see there. It has VR.
Yeah, we are support.
With Oculus, presumably.
Yeah, standard mode and VR mode.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, 25, not too shabby. Looks kind of fun.
It reminds me
we
of
have
Star Trek:
Project-
The Bridge Crew.
Yeah, that's so
yes.
that's so good. There is, I mean, it's the streamlined version of like Artemis. Artemis is, I would say Artemis is more fun, but it lacks all the flair. But yeah, well, Project Hospital, another strategy game.
Characters look like from Family Guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It's, we need Project Hospital in Britain. NHS is in the right state. Maybe we should buy a few copies for some MPs, I think.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, sim management game. Obviously, we have Portal. We're getting RTX. It's releasing today, but I think it's still in the process of rolling out. So
Okay.
I'd wait a couple of hours, maybe start to do it tomorrow.
I've been seeing a few people having issues trying to log in.
Yeah.
So
Is Spider-Man coming to GFN at all? Is that even
Not
possible?
currently.
Because that's
When
another
Sony
game
decides to bring it, yeah.
Well, it's not been mentioned, but
because it does look brilliant on PC with the ray tracing turned on. That would have been a game that see Portal is a great game that was modded with the RTX tools that are coming out, and it looks amazing. But what would be interesting is to have people check out a game like Spider-Man to where you don't think that ray tracing really gives you an element of being more immersed in the game until you're climbing on a skyscraper that is not reflecting what's behind you. Right. As soon as you turn that on and you can see it I don't know, it draws you in a little more.
Yeah. Very cool. And let's see, this week we're getting the Severed Steel releasing on Epic. I think this was free during the Christmas giveaway.
They seem to be
I claimed
doing
this
that,
one,
right? They seem to be bringing Epic games whenever they're announced as free. I think they're good at doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think during Christmas there were so many of them, so that they got a bit behind schedule there.
Yeah.
getting like
but
Mirror's Edge vibes from that.
Yeah,
game.
Mirror's Edge meets like it feels
Ghost
like
Runner.
Mirror's Edge meets Ghost Runner, and also
Max Payne
slightly super
for
hot,
the bullet jump.
without the time stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looks like a fun. It looks like a puzzle shooter then more than
Yeah, I'm very excited about that one. Also, some elements from what's it called, Super Hot, right?
anything. Yeah.
Very similar to that. Yeah.
Max
I mean,
Payne.
It was
anyone
free
who's
if you
played
claimed it.
those games.
So and other than that, it's kind of cheap, like 17 euros.
Nice.
So definitely want to pick up if you have it, or try out. Yeah, that's the games coming.
before we move on, I've actually got Portal RTX up on GeForce Now beside me. I did try to share the screen, but for some reason it wouldn't let me do a screen share. Oh, there, that's one. Let's try that one, shall we? Yeah. So the actual game.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in the game.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So they really fixed it. Nice.
Let's see
I
here.
just tried.
You
see
don't
it?
change they don't suggest you change any of the settings except for the RTX settings. There's a secret RTX menu. You have to hit a certain button, a Windows key and something else, and it brings up your RTX
Oh, really?
menu.
But that's
Yeah.
already set to go, or
Well, that's what I was told when I installed it to my PC locally. I was to leave those settings alone and only mess with the RTX settings to make sure it played more smoothly. I just
Okay.
wanted to say that. It's probably the same since this is on the PC side.
there's advanced. I'm just having a thank you, Bjorn.
Yeah. The ray trace settings won't be in there is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different for
Shader
GeForce now, but-
detail. I don't know. It's definitely the RTX version. I've just increased it to 4K. I'll apply that. Zip. There we go. You can tell it's an old. Look at that. Everything goes to tiny, and you can, it looks like you need a magnifying glass to check it out.
My version of Portal with RTX is set offline, so you must be lucky right now.
Hang on, I'll definitely come out and show you because it'll stay in. It should stay in GeForce Now. So I just want to.
It's the
Paul-
UK's luck being rubbed on Rock's head.
Oh, it's
No.
Alt X. When you're in the game, you hit Alt.
Yeah,
X
it's
on the
offline now.
keyboard.
Yeah, do you know, I genuinely wasn't, but then obviously it genuinely is now because
Yeah.
no. Look, I was
Went back
I,
and forth.
I went to the old one. Sorry, guys. Oh, so excited. I was thinking, well, this looks the same as the old one. I'm not too.
But it'll look the same until you go into that menu and turn the stuff on with the Alt X, and it does change stuff.
Yeah.
But
Old
the reason
text. Let me just make a note of that.
The reason I mentioned Spider-Man is because Portal doesn't really look that impressive, even with RTX on. I'd never played through Portal and thought it was this or that, so I turned it on and was asking Callie Drew. I'm like, hey, is this supposed to look? I mean, does this look good? I shared my stream. He's like, oh, look at those lights. I'm like, I've never played the game, man, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, it's a very old game. I think you could get it for like $1 at some point because
it was on
how old
sale
it was.
for before the release at noon, so
Oh,
it was
wow.
going for $1, but I think that sale is gone now.
Okay, gotcha.
But it was released October of 2007.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
I'll
isn't
just point out that among the list of games releasing in January, we do have.
It's very blurry, Bjorn.
Oh, I think it's only for us though. I think
Oh,
it's
it's
fine.
only for us.
No, it's blurry for me as well, I think.
Yeah, it's blurry while the page is loading. Then it should clear.
Okay.
But
I'm
the
looking at the stream
difference
now.
between
It's good.
the reason that the RTX Portal is supposed to be so impressive is because it has fully path trace with no rasterization. The light paths are fully traced, and whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
But it does look good though. But like I said, I never played the original, so I didn't have a basis to go from. And it doesn't change a lot. But like Cyberpunk, for instance, you turn ray tracing on, and the way the light goes through the smoke that's supposed to be hanging in the air around the bar area, looks amazing. If you don't have ray tracing on, you can see the smoke, but it seems more like a fake effect kind of in the air. But as soon as the lighting, it actually makes it look like it's wafting, and it's really interesting.
I've been in two minds about buying that on PC because I only ever had it on Stadia. Would you say it's worth?
I would say so, yes, especially with the new updates and patches that they've done. Definitely.
You didn't like it to begin with, Rock. You struggled with it, so I don't know if it would be worth it for you.
I know, but I think that's. Do you know?
But to walk around and look and go, ooh, eye candy. It's definitely for that. Definitely.
And also,
You
William,
use which platform, Rock?
I do. Sorry.
You use which platform for Cyberpunk?
Well, I played it on Stadia, which at the time of launch was certainly the best of the consoles because it was dodgy in most places. But I think partly the problem was that I went with the corporate character. Is it called corporate character? Corpo. And then I played the demo when it was on PlayStation, still is, I believe. I played a couple of hours on there, but I chose the character that starts in the desert fixing the car. And I actually felt I enjoyed that more. Yeah, I enjoyed that more with that character. And I just wonder, whether half of it is because I went to a character class that's probably just not the one I should have gone with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with your class. It's just like your origin story. That's really all it, and how certain people treat you in the city. That's it. I mean, it should have been like a path choice or. But
there's a lot of things that they missed out on, which unfortunately,
I think it was kind
that's
of,
all I'm gonna say.
They had the ideas, a lot of great ideas, but then they, I think, ran out of time.
Yeah, there was supposed to be branching paths, and your origin story was supposed to be significant. And it turns out it's not as significant, but
Used to be with guilds, you would have to build a rep with the different factions, and then
But for eye candy, Rock, it might be worth picking up. I bought Witcher 3 again, and not that I don't like Witcher 3. I played it. I think it's one of my all-time favorites. But I bought it again not to play it. I bought it to turn on the ray tracing and to look at the new update. That's it. That's what I bought it.
Wow.
So
put it in the background.
It was only $8
do the dishes
or 10.
Yeah, I picked it up for a similar price to be able to enjoy it because I haven't played the DLC of The Witcher 3 yet.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
Hang on.
I never got around to it, and I was like, I really wanted to, and then I think I even bought the first DLC, and then I finished the
Blood and Wine was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought one
played
of them,
any of the
and
And the other one too, what was Stone or something.
but now I'm gonna and I played it on the PS4, and my PS4 is like full with dust, and it sounds like a jet engine, and it's not a great experience. Like load times there are massive, so it will be nice to now play it on GFN instead. So it was worth it to be able to bring my save over to and just keep going from.
Well,
on PC
I don't.
instead.
I don't want to. I want to reiterate, or I just said that wrong probably. But let me say this again. I did throw a little bit of a sucker punch at GFN, but they are the only company that is giving you better than a PS5 to try for free. You can go claim a game and go jump on and play it, and it does look better than a PS5. So,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's the thing with consoles. So I was always into consoles, and I really never looked into technology. But now that I'm looking into Nvidia, it's kind of I hate that, because now I know the technology, and like I know how PS5 is missing out on so many cool things, right? So it's so
The double-edged sword.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
As example, the 4090 I have was super expensive, and I can hit most games at 4K 120 without DLSS on. But the PS5 obviously can't. It's definitely not in the same money bracket either.
No.
But look at the packaging. Hey, 4K 120. Matter of fact, 8K. It's kind of a joke. The marketing is kind of a joke when they can't even hit 4K 60 solidly, because they throw every bell and whistle and atmospheric effect at the damn game. And then they say, hey, we want to do it in 30 frames. It's what do they call artistic? No, it's not. It's because you chose to do it
Oh
that way.
yeah, that comes from Gotham
to be
Knight,
fair,
and that's
it was artistic
not
to throw in all those effects. The frame
Yeah,
rate.
yeah, Gotham
Artistic
really
decision.
didn't hit the nail with that. I didn't like when they said that, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
But that's where
I think
we're at.
Ubisoft said it 10 years ago.
Tell you what, I am blown away. So I just thought I'd go and have a look and maybe pick up Cyberpunk, because we chatted about it. And on Steam, it's about 44, 45 pounds. On GOG, it's 50. Or I could buy it on CD Keys for GOG for $19.99.
There you go.
Wow.
Let me look at that.
that's the way
Actually,
it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
buy most of my stuff through CD Keys, and then I
Yeah.
claim a bunch of games. I thought, I'm still sad that Stadia's gone. Yes, I have a 4090, and I loved Stadia. I'm still sad it's gone, but I was more sad that my backlog was going to disappear, and all those games, I had a whole bunch that I really, really wanted to play through. Well, between GOG, Epic, Prime Gaming, I have a huge backlog again.
Yeah. This,
Like, it
this
didn't
is the
take
problem.
long.
Yeah, absolutely right. I've said this a million times. This is the problem when people, there's not enough games. Well, you just hang on. You can there's
Play
2
the
free
ones you
games
have.
today. Yeah.
Start by playing the ones you have. You don't need to play
Yeah.
the.
There's
you don't-
free
you don't
games
need to play
everywhere.
this brand new game.
man,
tomorrow-
kids
releases today.
are spoiled, right? With all these free
Yeah.
games, like we didn't have that when we were
Yeah.
young. It's crazy.
Well, Prime, Amazon Prime Gaming, they're giving away 3 or 4 games this month. And there's some decent ones are giving
6
away
games,
as well.
yes.
6
There's
games.
some you can dump hundreds of hours in. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. Just so many, man. So many you can dump
Yeah.
a lot of time into.
And soon you'll be able to do it in the car.
Yeah. You
there's-
got to keep your hands at 10 and 2 though. Still,
Yes,
the
tenant.
driver does. People in the backseat,
Yeah.
they don't care.
He's not playing. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a quick mention that Nvidia also announced towards the end of the show that GFN will be coming to select vehicles, starting with the Polestar 3, that's supposed to be delivered, the first few vehicles at the end of this year. So probably early next year for the first few. So if you're in the market for a new car towards some like mid next year, you might be able to play GFN in your car. Yeah, and that's about it with that news. It's cool. It's future proofing it, but it's gonna be like a few hundred people in the world who's able to do that.
I'll play some GTA while I'm driving. There you go.
Don't you do
It'll
that
come.
anyway?
It'll come.
Let's go to PlayStation. They had. I haven't had time to see the whole thing, but I've seen the. I watched the Twitter feed a little bit and found out that they are releasing a accessibility controller, which so far previously only Xbox had one. Now there will be one from Sony as well, and it looks kind of
That's
interesting.
good.
I don't know how I don't have the accessibility needs for one of these myself, so I can't speak for how good it is. But the design looks interesting at the very least. So
What kind of disabilities is it being built for?
I think it's like pretty much anything. I think if you have only one hand, you'll be able to swap
Okay.
swap out the keys and have everything on one hand, you'll be able to do a bunch of different things with it, I think.
Geek to Sneak asks, the PS5 upscales 4K, right? And it's up to the developer and in what game, because they've got a thing called checkerboarding upscaled or whatever, that they're constantly helping to get more without, you know what I mean, like trying to hit native 4K and hit that. So, but yeah, look up checkerboarding.
It's like waterboarding, but fun.
Yeah. With ollies. With polygons.
Oh, no. They also announced some PSVR 2 stuff. Some 30 games plus being on track for the launch window. Gran Turismo 7 will get a free PSVR 2 upgrade. Beat Saber is getting a PSVR 2 upgrade as well. And then finally they announced that the PlayStation 5 has now sold more than 30 million units worldwide, which I saw someone mention that comparatively the PS4 at this age had sold 35 million. So that's kind of close to the PS4.
That's actually really good. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised, not surprised.
Yeah, it seems like they've managed to solve a lot of their.
Hang on,
supply chain
Choco,
issues.
you're muted, my friend. It's I can see him waving away, doing sign language. He needs one of those controllers. There you go. Try again.
I was just saying that even if it's 30 million, if it's not close to PS4, you need to factor in COVID, supply chain crisis, the semiconductor crisis.
That's a good point.
Economic downfall.
Yeah, honestly, I work on supply chains, and right now it's a nightmare to just move stuff across the sea. So
Yeah.
I take my hats off to Sony because still they're delivering, not at the speed that people were expecting, but
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah, I
not
mean-
everyone is aware of all the
No.
complications of getting that PS5.
Yeah. And I mean, getting your hands on a PS5 here in Sweden for like before Christmas was almost impossible.
Just think of the value, though. And what I mean by that is look at all the cards that the NVIDIA just released, and you got to have a computer to stick it in, on top of the cost of the damn card. And you just got to slap down $500 and turn that thing on and start playing a game. I mean,
Yeah, it's.
I can totally see what is compelling to certain people about consoles. I can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely can.
I mean, having tried the adaptive controller, playing the Astrobot game, that controller is also some sort of black magic. Like it's mental.
Oh, with the triggers, the haptic feedback triggers or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, it was mostly the vibrations.
Yeah.
How they
was
managed to
beautiful.
make it.
Yeah.
Like how they managed to make it vibrate so that I could feel the same feeling in my hands that I know, like in the back of my head, that's the feeling I get in my feet when I'm ice skating.
That's what
And I
she
can
said.
feel that in my hands. It's like,
It's also the fact that when you log into your PlayStation or your Xbox, just have this really beautiful user interface. It's just, and you're not getting that with any of the cloud players. I mean, even Stadia stumbled with its forever scroll. And that I think is the bit that until these guys get that it's that friction free. It's actually part of the enjoyment of going to a really nice
the closest
aesthetic.
thing on PC is Steam Big Picture.
Yeah, but even that feels dated. And you go to the Steam website, and it's still fixed on a tiny column in the center of the screen, which kind of we've had responsive websites, guys, for about maybe 10, 15 years now.
They call it a home page for a reason. Shouldn't it feel like home?
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, I think it might come down to the fact that Valve has this mentality of like, everyone do what you want to do, and I think no one wants to touch that because it's boring. Compared to the other things that they can work on.
Yeah.
There was this massive leak a few years ago from Valve, like someone who got a lot of someone who started chatting with someone at Valve who spilled all the beans, and like they were talking about how like I think they had restarted on Left 4 Dead 3-4 times because like the people who building it were like, I'm not really happy with it, I'm gonna go and do something else. Someone else came in and was like, let's start from the beginning. This isn't really working, and then the same thing happened like 3 times over. Valve seems to be. I mean, they have so much money anyway, so everyone's just like,
God,
do what you want.
unbelievable.
Giving us Steam Deck every minute during the awards, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then they continued, didn't they? They did even more.
Yeah, and I mean, then Christopher Judge came out and spoke for.
Yeah, they need to give him. If they would have gave him 3 awards that night, I think all of us would have won. We all would have got a Steam Deck. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He never ended, did he? Cranky.
Poor guy.
I think he went for 15 minutes.
my brother became a doctor.
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing here?
It's true. It's true.
That was his moment.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah,
He
Moving on
seized
to-
it though. He did. He seized it. He took control of that
he
moment.
did. He
Yeah,
certainly
and,
did.
and I kind of like him for it.
Yeah.
Moving on, the developers behind High on Life has first of all, High on Life is apparently they've said that they've been really happy with being on Game Pass. For like yet
Such
another
a
developer
great
saying
game.
that Game Pass has been great for them, which is seemingly like I remember when they launched Game Pass and everyone was screaming on Twitter and Reddit that this is going to be bad for developers. No, it turns out it's really good for developers.
Well, what it shows is that there's a high interest in this game, and people have loved what they've played.
Just
So,
been fantastic.
It's
Well,
a
it's a-
win-win for them. It really
Yeah,
is.
it's
Yeah.
the biggest third-party Game Pass launch ever. High on Life was the most played game released in 2022 on Game Pass last.
I loved it. I finished
Now, I
it.
don't
Loved
know.
it.
Do they do some kind of market share with their games or their developers? How does this work?
I don't believe so. I think that they
a lump
do
sum
an
thing,
initial
I think,
contract and they give them money upright.
Yeah, and
could be
I've
different
heard,
for different, but
Yeah, it could be different for everyone. But I've heard,
Yeah.
I think Mike
Well,
Biffle, who works at
It'll be an interesting negotiation on the next one because this one was
Hey,
knocked
there you
out of
go.
the park.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think
But
I
here's the
remember
question.
hearing.
Can
Yeah.
they even top that, or do they want to just stick with what they have and just go with a different IP?
I think they're gonna be like. These guys feel like people who just make whatever they want to make, and it's the next
There's
thing
never
that is
money
crazy.
left on the table. Remember that, boys. There's never
Yeah.
money left on the table.
Not for the
Never.
tax
And-
man, ever.
Right. And not in the video game industry necessarily, but at least Hollywood, they're very creatively bankrupt, so they never
Yes.
leave money on the table.
Exactly.
If there's a-
Somehow.
Yeah.
If there's a sequel, wait 2 years and you'll get it.
Yeah.
So true.
No, but it's fine because I remember Mike Bithell saying that for most developers, these sort of agreements with, for example, Game Pass. I think he said that mostly to not break any NDAs. Like usually developers, especially indie developers, smaller teams, smaller like AA's, they get paid like the amount of money they get is like enough to fund not only the game they just built, but also the next one or maybe 2 or maybe 3 games. So if a budget for High on Life was, let's say, $10 million, then they maybe got like 50 million or something like that to bring it on Game Pass on day one. So and I mean for them that means they can now build two new games that are even bigger than the last one. So it's a win-win for everyone in the end.
yeah. I'm looking at the developers. I wasn't familiar with them, and yeah, like it's almost one of their first game. They made Trover Saves the Universe, which was pretty popular just a few years ago, and I guess it was successful. And now they have like this big budget game. So it's crazy how fast they got into almost like this quality of game. It's just
Was that
amazing.
another tongue-in-cheek title?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Okay,
very similar
okay.
type of game.
Yeah, and I mean,
what I was wondering.
this is from the minds of the guy who made Rick and Morty. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a fantastic game.
yeah, and staying with Xbox, the game Ara History Untold, which to my understanding is basically
India.
Microsoft's take on let's challenge civilization. So
Yeah.
a new civilization, pretty much like Humankind did. This is Microsoft's take on that. They are entering a technical alpha, so if you want to be part of that, I guess sign up to the Microsoft Insider.
Oh, that
Insider
looks good.
program. Yeah, and then you can hopefully get access for a couple of days or something. Because they said they held one earlier last year, and it got they got a lot of feedback, both good and bad, and then from that
Okay.
they've been working hard. So now they're doing another one to get even more feedback.
At least comparing with Age of Empires, it looks really good.
Yeah, this is more turn-based, more like
Oh,
like
it's
Civilization.
okay, like Civilization. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah,
that type of
and they
category
mentioned
I
like
couldn't really get into
yeah,
actually.
and they mentioned in the blog post like how they work with that feedback and how like they got a lot of feedback on which some things were down to the fact that the descriptions weren't good enough. The information, like the tutorials weren't good enough. Others were the tutorials were simply not there because they hadn't built them
Well,
yet.
I don't know. I don't know about tutorials, but I'll tell you this: I love these kind of games. But the thing I hate about them is you've got like an encyclopedia of stuff to learn.
Oh yeah,
Like
I love
you
that.
really do. You really
The
do.
learning curve, yeah.
Yeah. You
I
can't
mean, for
just
some of
jump
these
in
games,
and
you're
start.
better off watching like a 2 hour guide on YouTube
Yes.
before playing.
Caribbean tax codes.
Exactly. And two more quick stories with Xbox. The ever the non-stop story that never stops being that never starts being fun. It feels like the Microsoft's Activision acquisition. Oh, hey, we have a friend here on the show. Hang on, we got an
Oh,
extra guest.
He doesn't
Someone
want to
can't
fall
sleep.
asleep.
bonjour, baby.
Still awake, huh?
Yep, unfortunately.
I'm assuming Mike is sleeping there.
Future gamer, right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be a gamer like me. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna mention the story is still like it's not happening much. They've come out. Someone come out and said that there's no substantive settlement talks happening. So I don't know if both parts so far seem to think that they can win in court and
what
prefer
would
to take it into court, or if they're gonna do a settlement.
What
down
do
the
you
line.
think the settlement would be?
Maybe it will
if
be
they're
like
at
yeah.
the negotiating table, I wonder what the negotiations are looking like.
I'm assuming it's something like yeah, you can buy like you can buy these parts but not these parts, or you can buy this but then you have to pay this much to Sony and Nintendo, and I don't have no idea. But yeah, it looks like they will be they will be at it for another 6 months at least. It seems like.
Well, somebody's
Yay.
got a very rich lawyer. And
Oh yeah, some lawyers are
Obviously,
getting
the
a lot of money out of
bribes
it.
haven't went out yet.
yeah,
That's what they're
Exactly.
negotiating. The bribe
that's
amount.
true.
That's what
That's
it is.
true.
And the last story before we jump into looking ahead at next year, Exoprimal seems like it could be the first xCloud game that doesn't require Game Pass.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wait, that's
Rock,
the one that you
No.
get like a rain, like it's raining Triceratops and Velociraptors.
But it's
I
not
got access
built
to
for the
the
cloud. It wasn't
beta.
built
The
in the
closed
cloud,
beta is really
correct?
fun.
no,
No,
it's
but
the,
it's listed as console and cloud.
And
but
cloud.
It's not.
But it's not
gonna
coming
come
to Game Pass. And that's
So what's
purely
up
for
there?
Xbox. So they did say last year that they would be starting to allow you to play historic Xbox games that you have purchased in the cloud. So even if you don't have Game Pass Ultimate, if you bought whatever, Halo 2, and it happens to have a cloud version, then you'll be able to play it in the cloud. So this could be the first of a new model, which basically says, we're not bringing this to Game Pass, but if you've bought it, you can play it on your console or in the cloud, which is what I said a while back. PlayStation had that as an opportunity when they relaunched the premium services. They could have said then, if you buy a game, if you buy one of our exclusives, you also get the option to play it in the cloud. It wouldn't have taken a lot of effort for them, and it could have been a really good clincher. But
Anything to make it easier to play with people. I
Yeah.
mean,
definitely.
I mean, I know from moving from Stadia to inviting friends to Steam to it's even having Game Pass Ultimate and installing games. It's not easy to hook up and play with your friends because there's a major disconnect between the Game Pass Ultimate for PC and the Xbox games. But as an example, if the game that I want to play with my friends is in the cloud, I can just buy it and then jump into xCloud and be able to play it.
Yeah.
If it's
What
not
I'm
on
curious about,
Game
though,
Pass
is-
for PC.
What I'm curious about though is like if it's like it feels like they're gonna want to say that like you still need Game Pass Ultimate to play in the cloud, but then if you've bought a game that's not part of Game Pass, you can still stream it through, like if you have Ultimate. It feels like
Yeah.
might be something
Double
we're getting
dipping?
down the line.
Oh, you'll definitely have to. It'll be, I imagine, just like you needed Xbox Live to be able to go online. Like there's going to be, they're going to end up having a structured
Surely,
model for the people that buy games and just want to, play in the cloud. I imagine it's going to be behind the paywall of the Ultimate. I'm sure of that.
Unless they learn from Stadia, and that's the reason why I love Stadia so much, right? Just because you didn't need to pay anything, and that's why I wasn't really interested in getting into other cloud gaming services, just because. For me, like for example, Final Fantasy VII takes me like 3 months to finish it. So basically, I buy the game, and then I have to pay 3 months of subscription to finish it, which is just too expensive just to finish one single game, right? So for me, as an as a consumer, it's better for me to just be able to not need to pay a monthly subscription like that.
Yeah. And Lo-Fi, no, it doesn't have mouse and keyboard support. However, they have mentioned that Age of Empires is coming to cloud soon, I think, early this year. And with that, I'm pretty sure that will be the test bed for mouse and keyboard support to xCloud. But it doesn't have it right now, no.
That makes a lot of sense. Have you guys heard the news about the new Xbox controller coming out with the OLED screen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The one from Asus.
Why?
Exactly. Well, for the same reason they try selling 3D TVs and stuff. It's what we covered this earlier, didn't we?
Well,
You've got to, what do you sell when you've sold everything?
I have to
It
say,
looks
it's
kinda good.
Are there any pictures of this? Like,
It's online with GIFs and videos.
It's
and
all
everything.
about marketing, my friend. I bought a 3090 for less than $1,000, and I watched the marketing for AMD's new card, which sucks right now.
Yeah.
I watched that and said, "Ooh, I can get a newer card for less money." I sent it back. Wah wah, bad idea. Marketing
There
can
we
get
go.
you to do almost anything, even to go
there it
against your better interest.
do we have a price?
I'm not sure. I can take a-
But just to let you know, it's only for PC, Choco. So
Oh.
it's weird, right? Xbox controller, but
No, hang on.
it's not exclusive to PC. I thought it was.
For
But-
$1
No, you
gazillion
can
dollars.
it doesn't have a price yet, I think. But you can.
have an
It works
18
with Bluetooth, RF, or USB-C. And I think RF is if you have a special receiver. So, and it's been approved to work with the Xbox, so you can plug it, connect it to your Xbox using Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
Say we've added an LCD screen to show battery life that pulls 18 watts.
Yeah, and you can also you can have like you can load. I think you can load it with your like small animations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it
Watch
has like
them say,
these
like-
lines here are RGB strips
RGB.
as well.
Oh my gosh! Watch them say like, "Oh yeah, no, that doesn't impact the battery much." Just
I mean, it looks like
Oh,
a
yeah,
good
no, it's
controller.
nothing.
It's just really pointless. But at the same
That's
time,
Instead
Instead
of
of changing your
the rest of it is
batteries
cool.
once a day, you had to do it twice a day now.
I wonder if they were. Inspired by the NVIDIA Shield Pro, because that thing's got some angles on it that looks very similar to the top of that
Yeah.
thing. Man.
Yeah, and that is horrible. I've got the Shield Pro. I've got the Shield Pro controller. It's hideous.
Oh yeah, no. Those things, I break them within 2 hours of playing.
Yeah.
I squeeze them and then they start drifting. The analogs do. They're not good controllers. They are not. They're not.
Yeah. But guys, coming up in 2023, what do you think we're gonna get it for? Are we gonna get any new hardware? You think? I mean, we're getting the PSVR 2. We know that, but you guys think we're getting a new Switch, a new Shield?
I was about to say maybe we'll see a Switch announced after March, maybe because that's like the fiscal year, right? Yeah, Shoko. Yeah, so maybe after March, but
Well, people have been waiting for Nintendo to release a
Yeah.
new Switch for a long time, but like Rock said, it looks amazing the way it is.
Yeah.
They don't
So
need
I
it.
know
it's hard
that-
to say.
They don't
And
need
I
it.
know the developers are like, why? And I know Nintendo's like, why?
They're very
They're-
successful
they're
still,
selling a
right?
lot.
So
Yeah,
they're
I
still
mean,
making
hey,
a lot of money. Yeah,
They threw you a bone and gave you an OLED screen. Come on.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
Then again, let me look. Then you look at the game like Pokemon Scarlet, and it's like, is this really the best thing? I mean, sure, that thing is badly optimized and
Yeah.
like
Game
lackluster in a lot
Freak
of ways.
is-
But
yeah.
like, is this
I'm
it?
having a hard time.
Is this what the Shield, like the Switch, can do?
Yeah, but Game Freak has been really not doing great with Switch. I find.
No.
I think like the first party games are still doing pretty good. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the new Fire Emblem, and they're all doing pretty good still. So it's all about uh,
All RPGs.
optimization stuff. Yeah, yeah, Shogo, yeah. For sure. But yeah, Pokemon has been struggling. I hear a lot of of indie developers starting to struggle with the performance also, right? So
Oh,
I mean, if they
okay.
start losing these indie developers, then they might start.
Now, do you
wanting
think
to-
Nintendo will listen to those developers and their concerns, or
No.
make a game for us or not? They don't care,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
not sure on that point. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think they'll wait another year because usually console's life cycle is about 7 years. So, but that's just
Yeah.
my opinion. You never know.
There were heavy rumors that with the new Zelda coming out in May, it would be like the perfect window, given that
Yeah.
the previous Zelda came out as a
Yes.
starting
Well,
title.
Yeah, that's very true because Zelda is usually there's only like one main Zelda per consoles, right? And it's usually around the end cycle of that other console, so you never know.
Yeah.
It's a good. That's a good rumor. Yeah.
I'm ready. They can take my money.
Bjorn, just to circle back to your question, I would say I would agree with Ninja about possibly Nintendo, but I feel like Xbox and PlayStation will probably wait until next year for a console announcement or something.
They're getting a lot of money. They don't need to touch.
Yeah, right.
The demand is there, huh?
We
The
might
demand
get
is there.
Yeah. I'm still feeling we might get a Switch, a new a Shield this year.
A
Yeah,
shield. Yes.
I'm hoping
I
for a
think-
shield. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely in need of a refresh again. Definitely.
Like,
Well, they've said they've
better
got more
hardware,
stuff.
but lower price.
They said they've got more news to come. They just didn't want to overload everything at CES. They've said that. So
And I mean, it makes sense for them to bring up the announce a new Shield, for example, at Mobile World Congress.
yeah.
For example, which is I think in March or May.
Okay,
March or May.
When the Shield first came out, it was a very compelling product. Like it had everything all in one that you would, that I wanted anyway, and everybody tried to emulate that going forward, which is interesting.
Yeah. But I figured we could spend some time looking forward at some games coming out this year. So I have a massive list here. We're not going to go through the whole list because that's going to take too long. But if you spot anything on this list that you want to mention, then just go for it. I mean, starting out in
Forspoken.
January, we have a bunch of games coming. Anything that sticks out for you guys?
Could you do the old zoom in, please,
I could, but I think we're
and
gonna
then just
yeah, let's do that. There we go.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
feel it.
excited for many games just because RPGs, right? So Persona, Fire Emblem, of course.
Yeah.
Forspoken for me.
Yeah.
Forspoken
Nice.
is going to be good.
Dead
have you
Space
did
is
you
a good-
guys play the demo?
No, I don't want to.
That's it's not like you start from the beginning of the game, and I'm not even 100% sure that it's actually an aspect of the game. It was almost literally like here's some experiences of the game.
Is it almost like what they did, Phoenix Rising? They gave you a island just for Stadia, kind of. That's kind of like that kind of demo.
I think
a
so.
teaser.
Yeah.
Outside
I think
the game,
so.
but a part
It's a bit of a slice so that you get a feel for what the game's about, but without giving any of the game away.
That's good.
that is good.
Well, at least from what the trailers have been announced and all that, they did mention some things like if you have watched the trailers, you go, oh, okay, so that's sort of like a shadow
Yeah.
back to that. So.
Yeah.
Honestly
I'm
speaking,
kind of-
anything that Square Enix makes right now,
Oh yeah.
I'm buying.
You got me. Yeah, you got me for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm
Put
also
Kingdom
really,
Hearts on
really
GeForce
interested in
Now.
getting Fire Emblem Engage. I think I might.
You're gonna dump
secretly
1,000 hours into that, are you?
Probably might sneakily steal my son's Switch every night and play it myself. He's gonna be like, what's this?
You said, how come I went to bed early every night this year? Well, I had to finish this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I mean, I've only played like as an adult. I went back and played the like Game Boy Advanced versions.
Yes.
Of Fire
So-
Emblem on
so yeah.
emulators, and I loved them. So
So Fire Emblem didn't used to be so long, but they've put in that school crap in that last one, and oh my gosh, I hope
Yeah.
that they don't put it back. I don't like the school stuff in the newer
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
I might pick that one up at some point.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think for me personally, January is a bit lackluster. But that means that's fine because still haven't finished the games I got in December. So I don't really like. I have plenty of games to play anyway.
I'm excited for that one. Deliver Us Mars. To be honest, Deliver Us the Moon was a very interesting, short little, almost tech demo. It felt like almost, but I really enjoyed it though.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah. The
Hogwarts
story was
Legacy
interesting.
for February. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Harry Potter. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Hogwarts.
I mean,
that's going to own February.
The fact that you are playing essentially like the story is basically commit genocide, but apart from that, I'm still excited about it.
Wait, Hogwarts Legacy?
I mean, the storyline is basically the
Kill
goblins.
Hermione.
No, like the goblins are making an up. The goblins are making an uprising because they want equal rights, and as a response, you kill them all.
Awesome.
That's basically the storyline.
Hey, you got to stomp these kinds of things.
Yeah, they
out.
did an arena demo, and you just pretty much whacking, like throwing them like rag dolls. It was very
and I mean,
entertaining to
considering
watch.
the history of J.K. Rowling, it's
like
maybe
a
not
left
the
wing?
best thing, but at the same time, it looks like a really fun game, and I do like the world.
Don't be dissing the JK, my
Highly
friend. Don't you be dissing the
Left wing
JK.
party in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mind you, hey,
luckily I'm
she
good at
still has
separating art from artists.
she still has dump trucks backing up and dumping cash. So
Mate,
There you go.
mate, I'm all up for a semi-attractive billionairess that's only slightly older than me every day of the week.
There you go.
Even if she's kind of a prick online.
Well,
But
yeah.
then again, who isn't?
she can write or read me any bedtime story.
At least you get that money.
There's a game I'm not seeing in February, which is the one I'm planning for Switch. It's Octopath Traveler.
Oh, good one.
Further down the list, there we go.
Massive.
There it is.
Massive game.
Oh, there you go.
The February list was long,
Love
so
the
yeah, it
first
was
one.
further down.
Love the
Yeah, I
It's
really
a
enjoyed
good
the first
game.
one as well.
Second one is Switch. Yeah.
Kerbal Space Program 2, I'm excited about that.
Nice.
That is-
Oh yeah, Destiny 2 Lightfall.
man.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
will be
there's
sort of
more coming.
disappearing on that one too.
Man, what a good year, right? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we're getting some
Yeah.
really good
Another
games.
Kirby game as well. I saw, I think Duncan tweeted out that Sons of the Forest, I think was one of those really anticipated, like the 6th most wishlist game on Steam or something.
Really?
So apparently that's good. I don't know, or maybe that was something else.
Yeah, it was something else. It was the zombie one. The
Okay.
yeah, I
Never
forget
mind
what that's called, but yeah.
Yeah, something with Forest.
Yeah. And it was
Company
funny.
Race 3, so-
Gump?
The footage that they showed was more of a marketing campaign for the app they made than the game they're making. But I guess
Oh.
that's a different
Yeah,
story.
that's a different story.
Yeah.
I know HOULTS is really excited about Wild Hearts. I've seen a lot of people being excited about Atomic Heart. So apparently Heart's a thing
Yes.
this year.
Atomic
Oh,
Heart
so
looks
it's-
amazing.
Oh,
Hearts-
that
Hearts
game.
are things
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
So if you want to have success towards the end of the year, release something called Heart. March, we're seeing Last of Us come to PC. Wulong Fallen Dynasty is also coming out.
Nice. And that's coming
Peppa
on
Pig
Game
World
Pass, right?
Adventures, guys.
Peppa
got Peppa
Pig.
Pig?
Just
Yeah.
don't diss,
Star
don't diss
Wars
the,
Jedi
don't diss the pig.
Survivor for March for me.
Mine is coming up. So
I'm excited about Skull and Bones, to be honest. It's probably not gonna be that great, but I'm still gonna have fun with it.
Is yours
hesitant.
coming up in August, William? Is that the one we're talking about?
oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Skull
Is
and
it this
Bones.
one?
Is it also PS5? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Skull and
my
Bones is also PS5.
favorite Assassin's Creed was Black Flag, so I'm really
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That was a great
And it's probably gonna flop.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be pushed forward.
Did you? Oh, you're such a pessimist. I played
But I'm gonna have a lot of
two
fun with it. I'm
levels
gonna
of the
play it.
beta. I played the beta twice in two different sets. I loved that game. I was gutted when they pulled it. It felt like it was ready to go live to me. I have no idea why they pulled it.
Yeah.
But it's such a good game.
Like I'm excited. Like don't get me wrong, I'm really excited, but I want to play it, and I think I'm gonna have a blast with it.
It's
But I
nothing
don't
like
think
it's
gonna- I
nothing
don't
like
think-
Black Flag though. Don't
no, it's
Yeah.
not.
Don't
For
get
I
thinking
years-
it's like
I think
that.
a lot of people are just gonna expect that, be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do well. But
For
I'm
years
gonna
and
play
years,
it.
there's been a struggle and a pull on the development cycle of that game. That's why it's been over a decade in development.
Yeah, they gave the development to someone else, right? To another team at some point. So how does it compare to CFTs? Is it kind of like the similar approach?
No,
Or-
it's
No.
it's
You're
even
not a
like that.
captain. You're basically the boat. You do have
you're
a
the boat.
captain character. You do have a captain character that can leave the boat, but everything is done from the boat, even resource collecting. When you end up attacking a place, it's all timed. You have to stay alive in the harbor for a certain amount of time and defend. Like, you don't actually get off and do like swashbuckling, and when you take a ship over, it's a cutscene. Things like that aggravate.
Well,
already
I
shown
don't know
you
if the game changes as you progress, but certainly in the beta, I was able to get off the boat and go around the islands and go to various
there's some
NPCs
exploration
and
things.
to take tasks on and find stuff buried and things. And don't forget, they took it down and they've been remaking it or adding in stuff, because I think some of the comments on the things that William just mentioned, for example, got people's ire, and they've taken it away to go to play on that, to put it. So we don't really know at the moment what we're going to get.
No, you're right, and it's also one of those games that I think it's been made in Singapore by Ubisoft Singapore, and the Singapore government is pulling a lot of money into this because
Really?
because they there's a clause into that, which means that they have Ubisoft Singapore has to be the main developer, and it has to be released. Like, it had to be. That's also why it's set in the area around Singapore.
Yeah, it is.
Said it was going to. Said it has to be that. Like, this is they're because I mean, to my understanding, they want to build a Singapore gaming video game industry around base, and this is going to be the first step in that. And then so they have to release it, and they have to have and it has a lot of clauses to that agreement. So I think Ubisoft is really keen on getting this right. So I think that's why it's been pushed so many times now, because they have to get it right. Otherwise, they might need to pay back a lot of money to the Singaporean government.
How the hell did they get into that kind of an arrangement?
I have no idea.
What did they have, like a lunch with the ambassador one day?
Somebody like that.
Somebody lobbied is what happened.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about the story about the making of Kingdom of Amalur? Anybody?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, it's so crazy. Like, the guy who developed it convinced basically the state, to fund the game, and it didn't do as well as it should have, and they made that state run bankruptcy or something like that.
What?
They made them poor. Yeah, Kingdom of Amalur. Have a look at that someday.
Wow.
It's on Wikipedia. It's everywhere. So it's definitely an interesting story. Yeah.
What was the country? What was the state?
It was in America. I'm not sure.
Oh,
which
okay.
Time,
Yeah. Was that Choco?
It was whatever the kingdom was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amalur.
Yeah, in Amalur. Yeah.
Wow.
March
Alabama backwards.
Thing yet.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Survivor is in March, so I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that. I haven't played the first one yet, so I can need to.
Oh,
do that
really?
first.
You should, dude.
I have it.
Which one, Bjorn?
I haven't. The
Jedi
Star Wars
Survivor.
Jedi.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't had
good.
time. I want to play it. It's just I haven't had to play it too many games to play. So
a great
I'll
game.
get to it at some point. Don't worry.
Little Dark Souls-esque, but it's really fun.
Yeah, and then in April we're getting the list is a lot shorter because it's I think it will fill out during the year. But I mean, we have Hogwarts Legacy again, this time for the last gen consoles.
Oh,
So
Wow.
next gen is getting in February, and then 2 months later to get it on PS4 and Xbox One.
there's none of the actual film and book characters are in the game, though, are they?
No, it's taking place I think 150, 200 years before, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or
It's
maybe
or
at least 100.
It's like before.
It's in the 1800s something.
Oh, okay. But it looks exactly the same, though. There's been no evolution
Yeah.
or technical improvements in their
barely any.
world. Yeah.
But that's been
What you
that
do
seems
when
to
you
be-
got magic, you don't need it, do you?
yeah, that's kind of
Who needs progress?
Exactly.
Who needs
Wave your
technology
wand.
with magic, whatever. That's why they're so impressed by cars and things. But yeah, and then we're Dead Island 2, which was supposed to be coming to Stadia, but not anymore.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I love Dead Island.
Yeah.
I was
and then,
excited
of course,
for it. I was excited for it to come to Stadia. I don't think I'll be buying it on PC. It's probably coming to Game Pass though. I'll be keeping.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Yeah,
I have a
Nice.
feeling it is. Yeah.
And then, of course, in May, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's gonna be the big one. And also, I
Yeah.
mean, Suicide Squad might
It could
catch
be
some.
it might be a
Could be a
sleeper.
sleeper hit,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Probably not, but who knows?
Difficult to
Uh,
say. Is that literally a carry on to Breath of the Wild, or is it a completely new game as Breath of the Wild was?
It starts where you leave off in Breath of the Wild.
Awesome.
All right. So that means I have until May
what I
to
read.
get the game and play the game. Good.
Now they're gonna have to explain how you lost all your powers at the beginning of the second one.
Ooh, that's gonna be a fun creative experience.
They always do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have to, sort of.
Yeah. And then in June, Street Fighter 6. I'm not a big Street Fighter guy myself, but I know how many it's a big series. Diablo 4. I know it's a big deal. I'm completely uninterested.
Yeah, Blizzard. I don't know. Lately,
I
Those
heard that
fighting-
their pay options for for Diablo is
pay to win?
raising a few eyebrows right now.
Okay.
There's still some diehard people that like Street Fighter and Final Fight and that kind of stuff. But when the arcade, like when the I don't know what you call it, but when the time shifted past the arcade, when they all started to die out, I think that the fighting game kind of died with it a little bit. There's still some diehards hanging in there that really like them.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, it's also always fun to play like an arcadey fighting game every now and then, but it's not.
No,
Yeah.
it is. But I remember standing in line, waiting my turn with quarters all on the machine, and I've been to an arcade recently. I haven't seen that in a very long time.
yeah,
the good
golden
days.
days of fighting.
Yeah,
games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but,
see a
anyone-
nice title after Diablo 4, right, Choco? Right?
The best one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you mean Hogwarts Legacy in July? No.
Now, are you gonna? But if you started Zelda in May, are you ready for Final Fantasy in June? I doubt it.
No.
That's a good
Taking
point.
vacations, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Shoko and Ninja's not going to see the sun the entire summer. They're just going to be
Right.
inside playing
Yeah,
games.
We'll be
get
sitting in
your
action for a while.
get your
Why-
vitamin D
why-
supplements in, boys.
But then again, the Switch is
They got
portable. You can play
0 in
Zelda
August.
out in the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sunbathe and play Zelda at the same time.
Zelda and Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be beautiful.
Yeah,
but
it's one hell of a summer.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then in July, obviously, we have Hogwarts Legacy again, this time for the Switch.
For Atari. Oh, okay.
Switch, wow.
So it's coming to Switch,
Can
but not until
can
July.
I tell you missed one? Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
one.
no way! Oh,
I think it's a bit further down because
They've-
this is only.
no, it's
for
August, but
specific
they've only just announced that it's August.
No, yeah, hang on, it's coming down here because then we have it to be announced,
To
and I
be
think
announced.
No, it
yeah,
has
and-
been announced as August.
Yeah,
They've officially
yeah, but
announced
they
it as
only-
August.
this list only lists the games with specific dates, and they have just said August. period.
Yeah, they haven't given
So-
an actual.
They said August the 6th at 3:55 p.m. just before Magic Roundabout. I saw it.
Damn it, that's my tea time.
Yeah, and this is where the big list comes. I'm personally quite interested in Arc Raiders, the Embark Studios game. It's supposed to be free to play, 3-person you can team up with 2 people to make a 3-person team, and then it's like a looter shooter kind of thing. I'm most interested in it due to the tech behind it, because the tech behind it is super cool, and I'm really excited to see how that works out. And I hope it works out well, because I want to see what else that studio can do down the line. Arc 2 with Vin Diesel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Starring Vin Diesel. I think that was a weird one. When I was like,
Spectres,
Vin-
you've been playing Ark, haven't you? You've been doing a lot of Ark.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
are you gonna switch over to Arc 2 in when it
Most
releases?
definitely.
He hatches babies.
Your
Yeah,
baby
working on
hatcher.
mutations right now.
What are you playing it on? Out of interest, PC or
GFN.
yeah?
Yes, the PC.
nice.
Yeah.
And did you play it when it was on Stadia?
On Stadia, yeah, that's actually where I started, and that's where
Okay.
I got a little bit of my following.
Nice.
And then switched over to
Oh.
GFN, and they followed me. So
Do you notice a significant difference between the two?
The Stadia version was graphically dubbed down just so for processing power wise, but actually ran pretty well, and I was able to figure out to host a server, so I had some Stadia ARC players join me, so it was quite fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I always thought that, and heard others say that it looks a lot better on PC. I mean, I had tried it before on PlayStation, I think, but I didn't even. I found that quite stuttery experience as well.
Yeah.
So, Arc 2 though is it's Unreal 5, isn't it? So they're significantly upping the ante as far as textures and graphics and mocap and all that stuff. So, should be a lot better looking game.
Yeah, and then we have. I mean, for me, Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be interesting. I like Assassin's Creed, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can manage to, like, how they manage the supposedly step backwards to the good old days.
Have they still not announced a release date for it then?
Nope. Just
I want to know when the samurai version of Assassin's Creed.
I think you'll get a date in 2024 that's going to be pushed into 2025.
Yeah, they went big on announcing all of the future of Assassin's Creed, and yet all of it's like nearly a year from when they announced that.
Yeah,
stuff.
but they said that in an interview that they did after the announcement, where they essentially said that we're changing the way we announce our games. We are done announcing games 6 months before the release. We're going to going forward. We're going to starting now.
Yeah.
We're announcing things when we've basically said we are now going to do this. It's no longer just a matter of like as soon as they have put down that we are now this is not just a R&D project anymore. This is now we're actually making the game. That's when they announce it. The reason why it was Codename Red, Codename Jade, Codename Hexy is because they haven't decided on the name yet.
Names, yeah.
That's that's how early in the process they are. They're in pre-production stages.
I know, but the problem I have with them though is that they launched Ubisoft Plus on the basis that there would be this steady stream of content, because it's not cheap. It's what, $14-15 a month.
Yeah.
And once you've kind of played the games that you would ever play anyway, what do you do then? And they've now got to a point where your Legion and your Valhalla and all that stuff all come to the end of their natural life, and there's nothing. They can't just keep saying. I think I looked earlier, and they've rehashed a couple of mobile games, and it's like.
You know what, Rokk? I wonder if you're not spot on about that, and that's why we got so much with Valhalla.
Yeah.
I mean, just to
that's
keep
what I think it is.
That subscription worth it. I mean,
I think that's all it is.
I think also they are Ubisoft are they really want people to play their live service games. They did have a massive push for live service games when they really announced Ubisoft Plus. That's because that's when they were doing Wildlands and the Breakpoint. They were both supposed to be live service games. So they Division 2, and then I think they've pivoted and to fill. I think they are in this weird position now where they are they've pivoted to in my eyes a better way of making games and releasing games, letting them take the time they need and doing really cool stuff. With as Ant is saying in chat, Ubisoft Scalar, for example, really excited to see what happens with that. And I think they are doing a lot of that, but that's 2 or 3 years away. They have a couple of projects like Sea of Thieves, and Avatar,
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, Avatar. They have that in under development, and that's last Ubisoft, old Ubisoft games that are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be another one of those gaps. And I think that they're going to try to fill that with DLC for these games, just to make sure that. But then again, they also want people to just keep playing the games they have. That's why they make them so big.
I think what's happening is that rather than just kind of turn out these DLCs and these little bits and pieces, I think they're putting all of the teams they've got onto massive games, that some of which we've not even heard of yet. And instead, what they're looking to do is roll the platform out to places that it hasn't come out yet, like PlayStation, like Xbox. Like obviously it's with Luna. So I think that's what they're going to, and Switch. I think they're going to look to roll out so that they've got a whole bunch of people playing new content to them. That they may never have played, so they'll subscribe, and then the rest of us just give up and wait a year.
And then we go back again, because it's like smoother to just subscribe and use that for to play games for a couple of months and then unsubscribe instead of buying it outright. Even though that probably would have been, like, if you want to wait 6 months and buy it on sale, that's better, because for the wallet. But
I tell
if you want to play something day one, Ubisoft games are expensive, especially, and you since you get the ultimate editions and everything.
But then they're half price within a month.
Well, true. But content-wise, though, let's say you don't own any games and you wanted to fill your time wisely with grinding and stuff. What better way than to subscribe to Ubisoft? I mean, some of those games feel like they go on forever. Breakpoint,
and you have a bunch of different genres as well.
So they do have some. But if you've already played them, though, there's nothing compelling to draw you back.
No, unless you find one of those games I really love Anno 1800. I could honestly I don't even if I played it 5 hours a week, I would still find it worth to have. I would be fine paying for Ubisoft Plus just for that, with all of the DLC, and that's been, I think that's coming up to year 4 of DLCs, and they're still dropping DLCs for that shit. And I think that's also they want to have people. They have a massive amount of games. People find a game they really, really enjoy, and then they either keep subscribing, or they let it lapse and then buy it on sale. And that's either way is fine with them. And then they release something new, and then people come back on again.
Yeah. I think that they had a schedule planned out, but there's a lot of games who got delayed, right? Like Avatar and Skull and Bones and all of that. So maybe that's why we're seeing these few months without any new content.
And let's not forget that Ubisoft have also done some big changes around how not only how they work, but also replacing a lot of upper management, a lot of middle management.
They've got a lot of things on the horizon as well. They want to start their own streaming platform for their games where they're hosted. I don't know what that looks like, but...
Yeah, and they've also added, they've mentioned that they wanted to release for essentially... they mentioned plans that Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Ghost Recon, those 3 alone, the goal is for them by 2030 to have those series bring in $2 billion of revenue per year. And that's, I think Ubisoft's period is around $1 billion today in yearly revenue. Yeah. So they aim to double it with just those 3, and then have a bunch of different projects on the side. So
having said, that, we know that Ubisoft is not in trouble, right? We know that they're
safe.
Just a period that this is happening. But
true.
Do you guys
not in
think
trouble?
That...
Not in
financially,
trouble, but you did hear their head ups at their whatever call they get, their quarterly call or whatever. They said they were going to be switching a lot of things up and changing their approach to certain things, including certain games and how they release content for them.
But I think that's
way back when they were talking about. I'm talking last year's call now.
And I think one of those things that they said back then was because they had just hired a new guy to basically take on the production side of everything. And one of the things they said that guy set out to do was to basically say, we need to change to the way we work. We need to games, instead of making a Far Cry and then adding co-op to it, and then I think there were initial plans for a multiplayer mode as well. And no, let's make focused games. Let's make a Far Cry that's a single player Far Cry that's really good at what it does, and that audience loves it. Or for Assassin's Creed, let's make Mirage, which is supposed to cater to the old audience, and then we make this new game, the Samurai game, which is an open world RPG to cater to the fans of the new essentially reboot with Origins and going forward. To that audience, let's not try to make a game that is supposed that all of these guys are gonna love, because they're 2 different audiences. We're gonna switch it up to cater to different audiences with different games. Not all games need to cater to everyone.
Yeah.
Because before they tried to do that and it didn't work. And I think, for example, I think Valhalla is one of those examples. Like it worked financially, but a lot of like a big criticism that it got was that it tried to do a bunch of things, but it didn't really.
Well, for everything that goes into a game, it's a very like scary tightrope to walk, kind of, because you know you do one thing very badly and the whole game suffers. You know, like
So are you guys? Do you guys think that they're taking like a more safer approach now? Is that what this is about?
Yeah, in a sense,
so.
I think, or at least a more long-term approach. I think it's gonna be more like we have an alt part of the audience that really like Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Let's make a game for them that's really good at doing that, and also, and then they have something to play for 2 years. And then, but at the same time, it's also a matter of like let's bring down the stress levels. Let's make like release things when they're done, not have a fixed release date that we need to put like we need to do a yearly releases. Let's just when it's done, it's done. And let's like bring like less crunch, better work-life experience balance for everyone. So I think that, from what I've heard, they're doing a lot of that, those things, which I think it's a good thing for everyone in the end. We're getting better games, people working there having a better experience. So hopefully they don't change back. I like the new direction that I'm hearing. So time will tell. So it'll take a couple of years before we see anything, but
Cool.
yeah. But yeah, another Ubisoft game this year is obviously Avatar. Supposed to come out just recently, but didn't. So sometime next year, maybe.
Remember how we were excited about RTX about that one, but now like RTX is kind of like old news nowadays, so it's kind of
Yeah, exactly.
weird, right?
Yeah. It's gonna look good, but it's not mind blowing anymore. And then of course here we have it, SPG. I'll let you say it.
Baldur's Gate 3. It's gonna be amazing.
Best game
it's
ever.
It's gonna win some awards.
It has to. It has
so
to
good.
win awards. It deserves any award. It's not nominated for yet.
It's been so long since you had such freedom to create or experience your own adventure. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing.
I wonder, SPGs, if you'll put more time in the full game that you did with the demo, because oh my gosh, you have so
Guaranteed.
much.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh my gosh.
I've got at least not just on my account, but my wife's account as well, because you'd overwrite saves all the time. It was kind of messy how they did that. But anyway, I've got like 600 hours in the 40 hours they give you for early access. I've got like 600 hours in. But that's just it.
That's a third of the game.
Yeah, I mean, when the game is fully released, you're going to have like 12 main characters. And to see what their story is all the way through as the main protagonist, you got to beat the game 12 times. So,
yeah, and then you can see the different character interactions. 'Cause, I mean, your party size is 4 characters. You want to see like how is this mission if I have these 3 guys with this person? Or
So
compared to these 3 guys,
having 2 bards and a barbarian with you is going to be very different than having 3 wizards with you. You know,
I
Or having
find that,
4 bards
I find
with
that
you.
every Saturday. It's always my issue.
but it should
Choco, have you ever played Baldur's Gate? Is that the kind of thing that...
No, I haven't.
oh man, you have to. It's so good.
Is it up my alley with open world? And
Yeah, I think it is. Well, it's not. It's very unopen, really.
Like it's basically like have you played D&D at like pen and paper D&D at some point?
ages ago, but yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's
you have
basically that, but in video game format.
so you have a sandbox to explore. It's very
There is a story, and it's a really good, well written story. Branching,
Yes, it is.
crazy branching. Like one mission can play out 5 different ways if you're having. Like just by like you're a druid, then you can do this. If you're if you're an elf, then you can do this. If you're druid and elf, then it's another option.
If you bring in companions with you, meaning real people to come play with you, it's very much like D&D. You might be dealing with the shopkeeper trying to get a good cost on this item you're trying to buy, while your buddy is trying to steal and gets caught. It's very possible.
It's one of the most
at the same time. Yeah,
It's one of the most game where there's so many decisions. Like they did such a good job. I don't know if there's any other games that did it that much.
Yeah, if
This
you
is
want
gonna
to
check
try,
it out. but definitely sounds
if you-
really interesting.
Yeah, if you watch a few videos on Divinity Original Sin 2 and a Divinity, they made both of those games, and they're very, very similar to Baldur's Gate 3, except Baldur's Gate 3 is very cinematic. Everybody you walk up to and talk to, you get a little cutscene. In Divinity, it's all incredibly voice acted, but it doesn't zoom in and do anything cinematic for you. But
Yeah. And also the fact that you can pick up anything, use it as a weapon. Like you see a pan on the ground, pick it up, you smack someone's head in with it.
Yeah, like
push someone out off cliff.
in Divinity Original Sin 2, you can cast rain, and it makes the terrain wet. Then you cast electricity, and anywhere the terrain was wet, now everybody that's on the ground and
the same thing happens in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
Someone actually took time and put so much weight into a single chest that they used as a weapon and just threw it at the enemies.
Yeah,
that works.
So as an example,
Shogun's mind is blown.
let's say you're going to have 8 characters when it's their turn to run towards your location, and there's only one way to get to you. Well, your wizard can cast ice on the ground, and every time they start to run towards you, they have to pass a check or they fall on their ass and waste their turn.
It's
and then
so well thought.
And then you can melt that ice with fire that drowns.
Yes.
And they even had controller people in mind. Just the way that everything works, it's so perfect with a controller because these types of games
the controller support was Stadia exclusive in the past. Now the Stadia is going. I'm assuming that controller support will come to the PC release. At the very least towards the end.
It was buggy.
Way too much work. They put way too much work into that Stadia control scheme to do it all with the controller to let it fall on the cutting room
It's going to be coming to PC, and I'm assuming when the full release comes in August, it's also going to either day and date or down the line, it's going to come to consoles as well. There's no way Wizards of the Coast will be setting that opportunity out.
But this is only on PC. I just saw.
So far, it's only on PC.
It was PC and Stadia exclusive almost, because the consoles aren't supposed to be getting it. But
really? I can't imagine, right?
Boosteroid has it now, but that's not being advertised by them. So.
I think it's going to come to consoles down the line.
Yeah, it has to.
Divinity
I don't know. They've always said no. From what I understand,
they've said it's not we're not doing it right now. That's
okay.
So
all right.
I think it's gonna be one of those. Okay, the game is done. It's released. Let's take the work we did on. We put the controller support for PC.
Well, like I said earlier, nobody says no to money.
No, they're gonna port it. Especially since this is Wizards of the Coast, owned by isn't that owned by? Yeah, whoever that is owned by. The company who owns Wizards of the Coast really likes money, so.
yes, they do.
Because they have a bit of a controversy with third-party content, right? Wizard of the Coast right now.
Yeah,
going through that. Yeah,
they always have controversies over the years, a couple here and there.
It's
early access though, isn't it? Right now. So,
yes,
it is.
Oh, Rock! I think your camera is broken.
Your camera's frozen.
I thought you were smiling. I thought you were just really smiling. I was like, "Is that Rock?"
I thought he was staring into my eyes.
Just as you said, I was like, he's a bit too still.
Yeah. The weird thing is, I was looking at myself and thinking the same thing. I was watching us on the actual YouTube because I see a clearer picture of Bjorn's screen, and I was thinking, when do I actually speak? Was it? Hang on.
Yeah, I'm using the second monitor for the clearer picture because for some reason the display is for me.
Yeah, I think it does a low resolution preview to save performance. I think, but that might be it. Another game that we might be seeing this year is Blacksmith Wukong. If you guys remember that one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Remember
that's
seeing
that.
Chinese monkey saying that.
That looks really incredible.
Yeah,
go
and
check that out on YouTube.
And I remember when they showed it off in that first 6.5 minute gameplay trailer that everyone was so worked up about. That was basically, this is what we have so far. We need more people to finish this game. Please come work for us. That's what the deal was.
When I seen that, I thought immediately next gen. I really did. I mean, it just hits you in the face with how different it looks and how
incredible.
Oh man, it's vibrant, so vibrant.
The ice, the ice graphics during that boss fight is just
nice,
incredible.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Bulwark: The Falconeer Chronicles. Anyone else seen that?
I don't
No.
know. Oh yeah, yes, I know what it is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean it's from the guy who made The Falconeer,
Yeah.
which is like one of those games that like I was always really interested in that game, but I also know that I suck at that kind of game, so I never.
Yeah.
I played it for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. But I really like the world that he's built up, and now he's making an like a basic city building game.
Yes.
Where you build these like islands of island bases with airships and things.
Yeah.
In this world, so it looks really cool, and he's posting a lot of this on Twitter and on YouTube. So a lot of work in progress can be seen there.
What turns me down with that game is that I don't think that there's going to be a story. The game is not going to be finishable. It's going to be similar to Townscape, I think it's called. It's
Yeah,
everywhere,
I think there's.
and-
I mean, I think there's going to be more gameplay. Like, I think you're probably going to be able to send some war airships over
Okay.
to your enemy bases. Maybe it's
Yeah,
like more like
hopefully.
an RTS. But there's like supply lines you got to think of. But it's also very abstract at the same time. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else do we have in this list. Crash Team Rumble, yes please. I know Jem is really excited about that one.
Of course.
As am I. I mean, one of my my favorite party game up until like 2 years ago was Crash Bash.
Crash
So,
Bash. Good times.
I mean, Crash Bash was like the best game party game ever. And then obviously, and then I played Cake Bash, and I was like, yeah, this is more modern. As much as I love Crash Bash, a more modern game is maybe something I need now. And then I played the Rabbids party game, which is
Yeah, I love that
really,
one. That was
really
a good
fun.
one.
I
Yeah.
played like we played that the whole family, like both kids, me and my wife everyone was rolling with laughter for that one. So, but seeing Crash come back, yes please. I don't even know if it's going to be like a Crash Bash thing or if it's going to be something else. But either way,
It looks like they took
I'm
that
fine.
element.
Let's see, what else do we have? Just let me know if you want to stop at something. Doom,
Oh,
Spice Wars.
Eh.
Nice.
No, I mean,
trailer
yeah, it looks good.
No, it
And
does.
I finally got around to finishing watching the film as well the other day because I'd
film's
sort of
good.
got halfway through it and it just wasn't happening. And I watched the final half and I loved it. So it's just annoying that it ended like it did.
But Dune,
Because-
there's a Dune on Xbox Game Pass right now, and it is not that one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Just
really?
to give you the
it
heads up.
isn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not that
gotcha.
one.
No, it's not that one.
Yeah, it's a new one. So I was every time I thought of that game, I would go look
Yeah.
and see the old one, but that is a different one.
Gotcha.
So is the one that's on there a fairly recent to Xbox, or is it an old game that's been with them?
I don't think it's a brand new title. No, it's an older one, but this one
Yeah.
is coming out and is going to be brand new.
It looks good though. I mean, I know we've only seen a cinematic.
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it? But it at least looked like the movie. It kind of had that feel. It was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of level of quality.
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, but I think that the one on Xbox Game Pass is all RTS, like top down, and this is possibly third person,
Yeah, more of an
Right.
MMO thing.
Is
Yeah, I
it?
think they said MMO. I heard
like a looter shooter compared
Yeah,
to what the
something
other
like
one was.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see though.
Choco, you should be excited about Euden Chronicles, right? It's like
Yes.
spiritual successor of Suikoden. So.
Yes, I've seen a
Very
bit
nice.
about it. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I really hope it's. I'm really
Could
focused
be
on
a sleeper hit
Final
for you then.
Fantasy.
Nice.
Yeah, let's hope so.
When is it coming? Okay, but there's no
It
announcement.
doesn't
no
say. I think probably this year, but we don't know. And then I'm kind of excited about Endless Dungeons because I think, and I might be wrong here. It might be a completely different game, but I think this is a new project from the guys who made Humankind. And before that, they made Endless Space and Endless Legends. I think this is some sort more like a build. I'm assuming build your dungeons, like some sort of strategy game for building dungeons, which would be really fun. Might be something completely different, but I hope not. Extra Primal we talked about earlier. That the Xbox game maybe coming to cloud. Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Avery.
16 listed again for some reason, and then
Oh,
7 Rebirth.
yeah. Avery seems
think that
pretty
might be
excited
right.
about that in the chat. That's nice.
Yeah.
Rebirth is going to be massive, especially with the budget that Square Enix has for this title. It should be the big one. It's going to be a trilogy. It's confirmed, and Rebirth is supposed to be the big one. The Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Yeah. What else do we have before we start wrapping up? Forza
Oh, Ghost Runner
Motorsport,
2. I had no idea
Ghost
there
Runner
was a
2,
weekend sequel. Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
William, didn't you get Ghostbusters for Christmas?
I did. It was on sale. I picked it up for next to nothing. It's always one of those titles that I heard was really fun and engaging for people that like Star Wars because they got all the main characters back, their voice acting, and so I bought it. I got it for next to nothing, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Have you played it yet?
No, I did fire it up though and looked
Yeah.
at settings and stuff, but I
Yeah.
haven't actually played it yet. No, and I know that the new Ghostbusters game is multiplayer and is kind of similar, but it's not.
Yeah, it's co-op.
It's not a story like necessarily like
No.
the one I've got is. But
Right, because what was the one I played then? I played one where you go in. I
yeah,
thought
there's
it was
just there's a strictly multiplayer one where you go in with friends and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one
You're
I've
like the
played.
new recruits. Yeah, that's the new one.
I didn't enjoy that one. That's not the one you've bought then.
No. This is an original story, like almost like picking up for Ghostbusters 3.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, that's
The
a good
story, it's based off of the movies, so it's got those likenesses in it and the actors from the movies' voices.
Where did you pick that one up then? Steam.
Oh, during the Black Friday sale, I think.
I was going
right
to say,
after.
yeah, it would have been when there was a decent sale. Because when you said you had it, I thought, well, I'm not going to say anything, but I played that multiplayer one and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
But no, what you've got sounds like it would have been right up my street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an older game. It came out on PlayStation 3 a long time ago.
Yes. This is the remastered version of it or whatever. But yeah, the multiplayer one, Callie, he got it, and he really likes Ghostbusters, so it was right up his alley. But I was
Yeah.
told by him that I would like the original, so go get it. So that's why I got
good.
it.
Yeah. No,
I can
wasn't
see yes
too
or is
happy
on
with-
this list.
Yeah.
Along with. No, thank you for
Yes,
joining us.
sir.
Sounds good. Man. That was fun.
Yes, it was. Later,
Yeah.
N7.
Everybody at home,
Thank you.
everybody at home can't see us talking to Spectre.
No.
So it's,
Damn,
Spectre's
yeah,
just saying, take care, my friend.
Take care, man.
take care.
That's the one good. The one thing about this system is we can still talk when people aren't on
Yeah.
screen,
I saw-
and
I
then
saw
everyone
his
at
camera-
home's
camera
like,
go
"Who
away,
are
so I was
they
like, oh, he
talking
had to
to?"
drop
Yeah,
So I removed the camera, and then that also moves him from his audio. Sorry about that, N7. But yeah, Hollow Knight Silk Song is. I know a lot of people is excited about that. I haven't played Hollow Knight myself yet. Then we had Life of Pi. I know a lot. Lies of Pi. I know a
Lies
lot
of Pi looks very interesting. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Bloodborne, but meets steampunk. With
Yeah,
meets Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Yeah.
Yeah. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, obviously
Nice.
big release this year for PlayStation. Midnight Suns is also coming to last gen.
I just started the first one, so
Nice.
such a good game. I don't think I've ever played a dodgy Spider-Man game. Full stop.
that's true. That's true.
They're all
I would
good,
agree
yeah.
with that.
They are, I think. Yeah.
Even the old Sega side scroller beat 'em ups were fun. I like those.
All,
I just
all
love
the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Mans like from PlayStation are pretty much expensive. I don't know why they're all rare.
Yeah.
The physicals, yeah.
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 My son would be very annoyed with me if I didn't mention Minecraft Legends later this
Very
year.
nice.
I'm honestly kind of excited about that because I do like RTS games. So,
I have yet to ever play Minecraft.
dude, you get, like I now I want to stream of Rock play Minecraft
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, but
Going blind.
you have to turn RTX on.
Yeah,
You have to
going
play it for like
blind.
an hour and then turn that on and see how you like it.
Yeah, but yeah, going blind. That's first night. I want to
yeah.
see you play that. I think in general, a lot of like people playing Minecraft for the first time usually get a lot of views.
Really?
If
There you
like
go.
if you can strike through the Like the myriad of daily Minecraft videos, and people usually catch on to like, oh, someone's first time. I gotta see that.
I'm 73 and I played Minecraft for the first time.
Yeah, kind of. Like, no, but honestly,
clicks, yeah.
I would
They can
would
get some
watch that.
clicks.
To be honest. Like
Yeah.
that's for like.
Well,
those
you might
first
have to
few
wait
days,
20 years, mate. Let's not push it too far.
But yeah, like honestly, those first few days in Minecraft, they are quite something, and it's an experience you only get once. So.
See, I've been playing Dinkum, and I know it's not Minecraft, it's actually Animal Crossing, but it is kind of blocky, and you've got there's everything set within the squares. So I'm kind of thinking I've enjoyed that. So maybe I would
Give it a go.
get off on blocks.
It's all more of a survival game than anything else, but yeah, give it a go.
Was Pikmin 4 there? That's a pretty famous one.
Yeah, Pikmin 4, Payday 3 as well. Party Animals, it looks like a lot of fun. I've seen earlier like alpha streams of that being really cool. What else do we have in this list?
Whatever happened to that game? When they used to do the Stadia events, I forget what they call them now. And there was one game they showed where there was like this really old fella, this old chap, and he was like the hero of the game. He was going around and getting up to all sorts of mischief. Can you remember? It was shown on. I never ever saw the game come out though. It was. They were saying it was coming to Stadia, and then
say it again, Rokk.
Well, it was this game. All I remember was it was quite funny. It was one of those Stadia events that they used to do, and they showed these forthcoming games. And this game had like this really old guy, and he was like the hero. He was going around getting up to all sorts of shenanigans, and I just thought it looked really cool. And I don't remember ever seeing the game come out.
I'm gonna have to dive through those old
Neighbors.
Neighbors? Is that the one where where you had to you'd sneak around and they would?
No,
catch
it
you?
wasn't that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was a good-looking game. I've seen that on other platforms. No, this was very much in the kind of goat sim.
The Neighbors one was like the claymation type.
Oh,
Yeah,
Everything those that were on Stadia, but what is it called? It's been released on
Neighbors
PC.
has. Yeah, Neighbors has come out, but that's not the game I was thinking of.
No, but this it's Time to Die or something like that.
No
What?
Time to Die?
What, the old person?
Yeah,
Or was this
a game where old people.
I don't know. I googled it and I got Daniel Craig.
Old people. Daniel Craig.
Let's
Go to
die already.
GPT chat. That'll help.
I think. Sorry for the
Just
lag.
die already.
Oh, it
Here we
could
have
be. I can't see on
I
your
think
screen.
this
Let me
is-
go to the. Here we go. I'll have to give it a second to catch up. Yeah, that looks like it's the one.
Oh, what kind of? Ooh,
Yeah, old
Yeah,
people
that's
mayhem
the fella.
sandbox.
that was a neon floppy. We call it.
It's true. Just dying.
Yeah, it's
with it.
basically
there's
Goat
the old
Simulator
guy.
with elderly people.
Old folk.
I would watch this. I would
There you
play
go.
this
You
for
see,
sure.
my description of it was bang on. Goat
Yeah, I don't
sim
think
for old
this
folk.
was ever on a Stadia Connect though.
This
because
had
it's-
to have been made for Vet. I'm just
Yeah, Vet needs to play this.
Maybe
I
this
was
wasn't
gonna say
hip then, but there was
But this
definitely
is out. This was out last year.
Yeah, no, this was on a Stadia Connect. And thank you for remembering that's
Just
what they were
die
called. I forgot.
already.
Forgot what they were called.
It's this one.
The old
this is even
man
out
telling
on.
you you're number one.
Oh god, it's even got PvP. This is gonna be so fun. It's. I know it's on GFN as well. I've seen it in that list.
What that
I'm
the
gonna have to see how much that costs because I might have to get
that does look good. Yeah, it does look good.
$13.99
on
euros.
CD keys.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, on the
surprised.
$10 on CD keys.
I'm surprised we didn't put it in the wiki back then on the Stadia wiki.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
ever on that. Ever coming to Stadia.
How much? $6?
$2.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
No way!
I mean, it was.
I know what you guys are buying later tonight. Then
Let's see if I can find.
Definitely got to get that for $2. I'd buy that for $2.
anyone gonna buy?
Oh,
play
okay, I'm
Redfall, by the
sorry.
way?
$6.09. $6.09.
Ah, it went up.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Did you see that image?
See how bad that
He's
is?
just flipping. He's just flipping the finger to the.
Seconds ago, it was $2.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game.
It does.
It does look good. It's not the one I had in mind, but that looks better.
You're an old retired person in a near future where people aren't having any children. There isn't anyone to pay for pensions due to those ungrateful millennials who prefer playing video games instead of doing actual work. With no one to cover your living costs, you just like all other old people in this world have no other choice but to survive on your own. That sounds incredible.
It
Yeah,
sounds great.
and just die already.
Yeah.
You have one mission. You have one mission.
Stay
Retire.
alive.
No, retire.
All right.
Be able to
Brilliant.
afford retirement. I think we're all playing that game.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds so good.
We got Redfall coming.
Yeah, Sea of
These-
Star is one that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
I think Shoko will probably know about that one too, right?
No.
Oh no,
Sea of
okay.
Stars? No.
Sea of
Check it
Stars. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a spiritual successor of Chrono Trigger. So yeah, it's looking very cool.
Oh, definitely. If it's Chrono Trigger, that's
Yeah.
a game to play, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they have the same composer to make some of the music also.
Nice.
Yasunori
Nice.
Mitsuda. Yeah,
Good
it's pretty
music.
cool.
Chrono Trigger.
Get
Songs of
another
Conquest.
$6 from me. Damn it. I have to blow up old people.
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
great.
you do. Songs of Conquest is I have that already. It's in early access, but it's apparently planning to release full on. It's basically Heroes of Might and Magic, but with a more with an indie take and more a bit grittier. If I remember correctly, I picked it up and haven't had time to play it yet, but I really like the look of it. Starfield obviously a really big release. It's supposed to be coming kind of soon. But who knows? First half of the year, that's all we know. What else do we have in here?
Suikoden
System
Master
Shock
Quest.
remake.
Yeah, it's showing all the games again, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot of games coming. The Expanse game is coming. Supposed to be coming.
Massive amount of games coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great
Be a
game.
good
game
year.
for games.
But how many of these are they going to just get kicked into the future? Like they did
probably a lot of them.
like last year. I mean, so many games were meant to come out last year that ended up. Have I frozen again?
Yeah, you have.
What the fuck's going on, man? Wow.
The Wolf Among Us 2. The first one was great. Interesting to see what happened. Like it's been like 10 years or something at this point, but
Yeah. it's
finally
been a
getting
while.
that sequel that was set up in that first game to be.
I think
really set up in the first game.
the original developer doesn't exist anymore, right? Like I think it was
Yeah,
passed to
exactly.
someone
I think
else.
but I think they reformed under some new umbrella, but with the same name. So
Nice.
Telltale Games exist again, but it's a new.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Tron Identity. This is Mike Bithell, who I mentioned earlier, the guy who made Thomas Was Alone. His next project is Tron. So Tron is coming to getting a new game, and it says
Superb. What was
Yeah,
that
and,
game that came on Stadia that was quite TR6 or something? That was a bit.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Tri-Six Infinite.
Tri-Six.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm interviewing the developers actually tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So,
How,
exciting.
how,
Good catch.
how weird that I should mention it. It's a fantastic segue. We're a double act, my friend.
yeah. Let's see. A bunch of Warhammer, Wild
Oh my
Hearts,
gosh. Yeah.
and we're at the bottom of the list here. Some more East, some more Xenonauts. So yeah, with that, let's go back to that topic because that's more fun. Guys, what have you got coming up? Shoko, let's start with you.
Sorry, which game
What's
is coming up?
What's coming up for you? What's going up? Yeah.
Sorry. Since I have a
What's
baby,
happening
I'm
with
always excited.
what you going on this next couple of weeks?
Oh, Crisis Core reunion, definitely. And then I'm gonna be waiting for Forspoken, um, Octopath Traveler 2 in February. That's gonna be my main game to stream on Switch, and I'm gonna give it a try with the whole killing Hermione on Hogwarts.
He's not even born yet, mate. Both of those games.
Can you just give it to me and that's it? I'll sign up. I'll sign up for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Ah, there he is.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of
There's,
zoomed out rock version. That nobody ever
that's-
sees all of this crap
Oh
behind
yeah,
me.
we've never seen that before.
But,
That's new.
No, it's a whole other angle.
Ninja, what's going on with you? You had an interview tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm on vacation, so I've been doing a lot of first look videos. So I'll be continuing that. Yeah, very fun. Zip! And
I got all excited.
yeah, that was-
Whoa, he's got first looks coming. Woohoo!
yeah. Magic. No, but yeah, tomorrow keep a lookout. Every Friday. Every Friday I do developer interviews, so I got like all of the month booked out. It's gonna be very fun. Tomorrow I'm having the Clockworks Origin, which created Elemental Wars and Tri-6 Infinite. So keep a lookout for that. It'll be very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, SPG unfortunately had to drop, but he's got a lot of streams going on. So
Well, he said he's been doing some Days Gone today. Didn't he say he was doing Battlefield tomorrow, I think?
yeah, I think so.
doing Battlefield tomorrow?
So I mean,
think so.
you know what? Just subscribe to him, hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when he's live. And you can,
Yeah, that's true.
that's the easiest way.
They'll be
Goes
putting
for
all
all you
the
guys.
all the stuff in the description later.
Possibly
English
just dial
1-7.
ready soon. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be streaming it just already.
Yeah.
Rock, what's going on with you? Will you be streaming just already too?
Tomorrow. So tomorrow is members only giveaway day on Rock Around the Clock. So there will be a bundle of PC games going to one of my amazing Team Rokk members, and so that's tomorrow. And then back on
Maybe bundle that with some Just Die Already.
with who?
With some Just Die Already gameplay.
Just Die Already. Oh, Just Die Already. Yes. So I thought you said
What? You
just.
want me to die?
I'm sorry. It's my brain. Yeah, no, well, I didn't buy it. William bought it for $2. I bought Cyberpunk while we were playing and while we were talking, and I was just checking it out to see the difference. And then I thought, I don't know, it's not much different really. So I might just cancel.
Yeah,
that.
refund that. Get Just Die Already instead. That's a better deal.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's me, and then all the same stuff next week. Rock show on Tuesday, Rock Players on Thursday, of course, and lots of rock.
Any Rock Around the
Clock.
Block coming up?
Yeah, actually, I filmed some. I've got some footage from last Sunday. I went to a little seaside town, and it was very stormy. And I literally shoved because one of my Christmas presents was a 3-meter long selfie stick for the camera. So you when you literally put it above you, it's like a drone flying over. Although when you're walking down the high street of a small seaside town with a 3-meter long stick and what looks like a telephone on the end, you do get some remarkable looks. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah, but because the camera is waterproof, so I literally dunked it into the sea as the waves were coming up. So I've got some interesting footage. I'm just going to spend some time to put it all together and do a block. But yeah, more of those to come. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And as for myself, I recorded actually today or yesterday, I think it was. I recorded a one video about Pokemon Scarlet, one video about Mario Bros, and the concept of not saving properly, because that game is infuriating when you like get your
Which
game over
game?
Mario Bros U Deluxe. Like it's one of those like you play it for like you like an hour. You maybe beat 5 levels finally, and then you get a game over screen. And then the last save point was like 3 levels ago. You got to spend that hour like do that all over again. And when you have a 7-year-old who plays that, it ends up being a lot of tears. So I had to make a video complaining about that. And then I'm also working on a review of my game of the year for last year. I want to play Bannerlord. So videos in the works.
Yeah.
I love Bannerlord.
Are you still playing it? Is it one of those games that
Yeah.
you could just
I'm gonna be playing that for years.
so you could just keep playing. It's not. There's no
Yeah,
like.
you can do
Yeah.
new campaigns. Like let's try to make a build that like different character build. Let's try to make
Wow.
go with this kingdom instead of that kingdom. Let's try to
Okay.
go with no kingdom and make my own kingdom, or maybe even let's not do a kingdom run. Let's just be let's see how good of a trader I could be.
Out of interest, is that a genre of game popular in Sweden full stop, or is it just something that you?
No, I don't think.
No,
I think
okay.
it's one of those. I think I think it's popular with people who like historical strategy games, but also
Yeah.
but who also likes RPGs, because it
Yeah.
is like a really deep RPG, but it's also almost like a grand strategy game. So
Okay.
like one of those like kind of deep strategy games. But take that, combine it into one, and add to that a really fun like action, like skill based action combat system. With like directional
Yeah.
directional hits and blocks and everything.
I mean, it'll be an interesting topic for another show because I know
Yeah.
I've been told, for example, that in Germany they absolutely love those simulators like farming
Yeah.
sim, and that's a massive type of genre in Germany,
Firefighter sim, and
and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be just
waste removal
interesting.
sim.
Be interesting to know, in other countries whether they have this really specific kind of genre that they're into.
Yeah, I don't think we really have one of those here. But
No,
I think but
I
at
can't
the same
think
time,
of
I do
any
think we have. But I think we also have a lot of variety in the games being made around the country, and because we do have.
Oh, it's
I
a
think I read
creative
today.
hothouse, Sweden.
I think I read today we had like the numbers for 2021 was that we had 8,000 game developers in Sweden. Like
What?
8,000 people working on game
Wow.
development in a country of 10 million.
Yeah.
So I mean with that, and I think with that comes so many different genres being built, and I think there isn't really one genre that really
No.
sticks out. I think we are, but at the same time, I think we like Swedish culture in general is usually kind of gloomy. But still, it's still but gloomy, but with heart. And I mean, just take a look at like Unravel 2, for example, or like the Unravel series, for example. They're gloomy, or like Valheim. It's gloomy, but it also
They were so
cozy.
miserable, the Vikings. Oh, bollocks. Let's go and ruin everybody else's day.
Yeah, like as soon as early spring comes, everybody's with it. It's like, yeah, it's summer, let's go.
Yeah.
They're really happy. Then comes winter, like fall, and then winter. And it's like, I don't know, whatever. Life sucks, whatever. See you. And like that's just the way. And then that cycle just continues every year
That's
after year.
amazing. What's the daylight like in this time of year?
Stockholm, I think it's kind of like I think it goes dark around 3 p.m. maybe. Wow. And
my gosh.
sun goes up at around 8. But I mean, if you go up to like Kiruna in the most northern parts,
Yeah.
it's basically I think they have one hour of daylight.
Yeah.
Then again,
Oh my
in the summer,
gosh. Wow.
then in the summer they have the sun never sets during
Yeah.
the summer months. So it's one of those.
They
Like,
stock up on vitamin D in the summer.
yeah, and I mean it's
Yeah.
to the point where the bus stops in the city of Umeå, and they even have special lighting in there to simulate sunlight, because
Crikey.
people don't get enough sunlight during the winter months.
Yeah.
So they put in special, like when waiting for the bus, you get some sunlight on you, like artificial sunlight,
Wow.
because it's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, even in the north of England, and when you go up into Scotland, I don't think they're on a similar kind of parallel to you guys.
Yeah,
but-
I think I'm probably kind of close to the most northern parts of Scotland.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much
Yeah,
my-
yeah. So,
my,
but I'm right down on the south coast. I'm just a couple of hours, an hour flight from where Choco is. So I'm about as south as it gets in the UK. So we don't get dark until about 6. And then it's light. It's light again, maybe 7 in the morning, 7
and I
in the
think
morning.
it's like 2 hours difference over here, and then up north it's like crazy. But Sweden is a very tall country. I mean, it takes like going from Stockholm to Gothenburg by car, that takes like 4 hours. But going from like Malmö up to Kiruna, that would take like almost 10 times as long.
Is there a Batman character that lives in Gothenburg? I'd
you would
I'd
think
love to.
so, but no.
I'd love to think
Just
there
a bunch of
was.
rain, just a bunch of rain, and a lot of people named Glenn.
Where's Batman Berg when you need him?
No, they do have Glenn though. Glenn is not to be forgotten.
Glenn's there, is he? Oh, good Glenn.
Yeah,
That's it,
they had there was a thing. I think it was in the 60s or 70s or something. They had I think the Gothenburg football team had I think 8 players in the starting 11 called whose first name was Glenn.
Really?
So there was this chant that happened with basically everyone in Gothenburg is named Glenn. That the other teams were chanting whenever they were playing them, and that kind of stuck. So then now everyone's like, "Oh, Gothenburg! If you're from Gothenburg, oh, are you named Glenn?" It's like a standing joke for the rest of the country.
Oh, wow. Glenn from the Glen. Bless him.
So yeah, Guys, it's late. Thank you so much for joining us for such a long time, and I guess I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, no, it was good, and
Cool.
thanks to everybody in the chat as well.
Yeah, that was
Definitely.
fun
And,
for sure.
Yeah, no, look through the years to come now. Let's enjoy the years.
What?
What?
There's some games happening in the year to come. Now let's enjoy those games over the years.
Yes,
there you
exactly.
go. There we
Yes.
Yeah,
It wasn't the
getting late.
accent. You just went.
Yeah.
I thought you just. I thought it was just me being.
No. It was your the sound went.
muffled your voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah. It went. Yeah, whatever.
It is
Yes.
what it is.
Take care, guys. Cracking
Right.
show.
Take care, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for inviting me.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, chat.
Bye.
Ciao.